The following is a live presentation of News Channel Nebraska Sports. Columbus area high school football on News Channel Nebraska and ncnsportsnow.com.
It is rivalry week, and boy, do we have a fun one on this Thursday night as the Scotus Shamrocks travel to Columbus, Lakeview to take on the Vikings. John Kipper, Grant Otten here on the call. Scotus coming into this game 1-4 on the year, but Grant, you had a chance to call them last Thursday. That was a blowout win against Grand Island Central Catholic, and Coach Linder really thinks he has his team on the right track.
Well, even when we talked to Coach Linder and Coach Frenzen coming into this week, specifically Frenzen too, he stated, Scotus is not a typical 1-3 team. They've played close games with Aquinas. They were leading until the last 15 seconds of the game. Aquinas, arguably maybe the best team in the state, certainly up there in 1 or 2, but they've had great games with Newman as well. Wayne, very winnable game there too. They kind of dropped the ball a little bit against Pierce, but since then they've gotten back on track and have been playing very hard. Their offense is maybe one of the better ones in the state. They do a really good job of moving the ball. It's just that they can sit tight and put a good defensive performance together. They've settled in. Tyler Palmer, he's not our key player for today's matchup. He has been in the past, but he's settled back into that quarterback position, and they're going to keep him there, and he's done a really good job, so I don't see an issue with that, and I think he likes playing there. He's doing a really nice job, and so kind of stopping his versatility is going to be important. And then with Mustard and Lobbins coming into the backfield as well as they have, and of course Strecker, a very good player too, just been very versatile on offense.
Yeah, lots of weapons for Scotus. And as for Lakeview, you certainly can't take them lightly. It's a team that made the playoffs last year, started the season 3-1, including defeating the defending state champion in C1, but a rough game last week against Boone Central Newman Grove, a 35-0 loss. Clearly Lakeview would like to get back on track, and no better chance to do it than taking on Scotus. Yeah,
Boone Central Newman Grove, that was a tough game for Lakeview, and certainly I think they probably rebounded to practice. A very tough team when you see them play week in and week out, and so it'll be exciting to see how they come into this matchup. But the Boone Central Newman Grove, maybe the best team they've faced so far. O'Neill arguably is really well too. They're the defending state champs, so you can't put them down, and they've got some of the best athletes in the state. So they are a very good team, and they are a team that will bust a big play on you, and if you give them an opportunity, they're going to take it. So they got a slew of running backs. Our key player, Cage Jansen, for this matchup is just a heck of a quarterback, and if he gets the opportunity, he's going to slash you big.
Yeah, and getting into those key players, we'll go with Scotus right now. Really the heart and soul of the team, someone that Coach Linder loves to talk about. Ren Allen, the offensive lineman that certainly leads a charge for them, but also a very effective linebacker, their leading tackler.
Yeah, he's been a lot of fun to watch, and he's maybe kind of the key and core of this defense. Is certainly the offense is the center too. Not often do you have a center being your starting middle linebacker, and so that just shows his athleticism and his physicality. And guys who watch tape know he is a very good player. He's a smart player, very physical, a guy who definitely has some next level talent. If he can continue that, and if he chooses that he wants to go play somewhere, he's going to have the opportunity, I would think. He's been a lot of fun to watch this year, and he's been a big key to when they've been successful.
And as for Lakeview, you mentioned Case Jansen earlier on. He didn't start the season as the starting quarterback. He moved in for Jaden Johnson during that Norfolk Catholic loss. He has taken the job and run with it, while Johnson now plays running back.
Johnson, a very good talent as well, and I think it was kind of interesting. Coach talked about how he was kind of lucky to have those two rotating in. Cage settled in, and now they have him as the starting quarterback, and it's a little nice too when you're kind of switching between guys. Those are two guys you probably want on the field, very talented, very athletic, and so the fact that they're working him as a running back now and having Cage that starting quarterback position, it's worked out well, and Cage has just been a fantastic talent, a guy who can get it done on his feet as well as do it in the air.
And I had a chance to talk with both Coach Linder of Scotus as well as Coach Frenzen of Lakeview. Let's head to those interviews. Down here with head coach of Scotus, Tyler Linder, as he gets ready to take on Lakeview in about 30 minutes or so. Well, Coach, I'll say you look ready. You're rocking the green pants today for Scotus. How's your team feel heading into this one?
Yeah, we feel really good. We're coming off a really good, first district game against GICC, and we've had a great week of practice. We actually have an extra day on Lakeview, so that's helped us with our preparation. So feeling really confident.
And we talked about during that coaches show, that extra day of practice, and you were seemingly feeling really good about this entire week heading into Lakeview.
Yeah, a mark of a good football program is are you making steps every single week and every single day, and that's what I've seen with our boys. The last few weeks we've been coming ready to play ball, and this week we followed suit, so I'm very excited to get this kickoff underway.
This is a Lakeview team that certainly can run the ball. What's the key to the game to make sure that they don't get the ground attack going?
Lakeview has the ability to be very multiple on a lot of different things. They could spread you out, run east east-west. They can stretch a vertical down the field with their deep passing game, and then they can kind of knife you with their A and B gap ISO stuff. So, the trick is trying to make them one-dimensional, to, kind of limit their potential and force them into kind of a pigeonhole and then rally the football from there. So we're going to really try to take away, what they're really good at, which is their ISO game, and force them to go elsewhere.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Over here with Lakeview head coach Kurt Frenzen, getting ready to take on rival Scotus. Coach, this is probably a game where you don't need to say too much to motivate your players.
No, they've had a very spirited week of practice, and they're ready to go. We got a lot of respect for Scotus, and it's really easy for our team to get up and excited for this game.
Lots of weapons on the Scotus offense. Defensively, what are you going to try to do to slow that down?
Just play responsibility football. They're a precision offense, so we need to be a precision defense, and if we can do that, we can be successful tonight.
You guys were scoreless last week. I'm sure you're looking to break out a little bit offensively. What's the game plan over there?
Do better. We got to do better as a coaching staff. I got to call a better game. Our players need to execute that game plan better and get all those things going in the same direction. We'll be all right tonight.
That's all I had for you, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
And we are just getting ready to go, about 10 minutes or so before kickoff as rivalry matchup tonight. Scotus taking on Lakeview. We will come back and have your starters next on News Channel Nebraska.
Nebraska Harvest Store, your Bobcat dealer for sales, service, parts, and rentals. See them today for all your Bobcat needs. At Columbus Motor Company, shopping for a new vehicle isn't as complicated during the Jeep Celebration event. At Columbus Motor Company, your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer, it's one low price, plain and simple, always. See them today at 2806 23rd Street or visit them at onelowpricene.com. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
My husband and I farm north of Blair. We know few things are as important to Nebraskans as land. In fact, many of us who work for TransCanada in Nebraska grew up here. Like me, they're passionate about land, water, and wildlife, the very things we work hard to protect. As an environmental specialist, I'm committed to working together to care for the environment. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. After all, Nebraska is our home too.
These are my people. This is the place that I come from. This is my piece of this America I love. There's nothing like it. From sea to shining sea. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be. Yeah. These are my neighbors. This is the team that I stand for. This is my daylight, all night world and so much more. This is my hometown. These are my friends and family. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be. Yeah, there's nowhere else on earth that feels so good to me. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be.
At Bank of the Valley, our commitment has always been to our customers and the communities we serve. Bank of the Valley is supporting our area schools by introducing the first School Pride Cards, a Visa check card with your choice of custom design for your local school. New and current customers can earn cash for the school of their choice by choosing one of 16 School Pride Card designs. The Bank of the Valley School Pride Card can be used anytime, anywhere. Show your school pride this year and sign up today by visiting any one of the 5 Bank of the Valley locations.
At Gene Steffi Ford, our goal is to make your purchase a lasting experience. And at Gene Steffi Ford, we do just that. With a great staff, quality Ford products, and competitive pricing, we're sure to find the right vehicle for you. Our sales staff are among Ford's top in customer satisfaction rankings. Come meet our staff, and they'll treat you like family.
Vengan a conocernos.
Y los trataremos como familia.
Serving Columbus and surrounding areas.
Gene Steffi Ford, come and see what makes us different.
here live, News Channel Nebraska. Scotus taking on Lakeview tonight here at Columbus Lakeview High School. John Kipper, Grant Otten on the call, and it is time for starting lineups on your Columbus Community Hospital pregame show. And let's first take a look at your visitors, the Scotus Shamrocks, coming into this game 1-4 on the season. Your starting quarterback today going to be Tyler Palmer, who, as we mentioned, took the job from Caden Pellin earlier in the year. Your other backs include left wing Logan Mueller, right wing Eric Mustard, split in Colson Cush, fullback Zach Bierman, as well as your tight end Grant Shanley, right tackle Kyle Kobza, left tackle Abe Peralt, right guard Jake Nowicki, left guard Evan Hand, and your center Ren Allen.
There you can see the Scotus defense as well. You got Grant Shanley again, Landon Sokol and Brandon Hoyne. Up there in the middle, the Matt Strecker, Ren Allen, we talked about them, and Eric Mustard at the linebacker position, as well as Kyler Kobza and Zach Byerman. Then you had your safeties rounded and out there.
Yeah, your corners, Dalton Borchers, Colson Cush, and Tyler Palmer. Grant Palmer, a guy that had a pick 6 last week against GICC.
Actually, his first touchdown, too. They tried driving down. They were unable to score, and then he ended up getting a pick 6 and ended up scoring anyway. So it was a big turnaround for them, and he was able to kind of get going after that play. But certainly they'll be looking for him to have a big night tonight.
Palmer scoring 3 touchdowns in total last week against GICC. As for your Lakeview Vikings, as we mentioned, fell to Boone Central last week, 3-2 on the season. Starting quarterback today going to be junior Cage Jansen. Your I-back, Jaden Johnson, also a junior. Another junior, Jacob Frenzen at fullback. Starting wide receivers, Jacob Sprunk, Isaac Dryfirst, and Brooke Balin. Left tackle, Cade Stromberg. Left guard, Elijah Molman. Center, Nolan Viergutz. Right guard, Cody Thompson. And right tackle, Camden Wilkie. As for your starters on defense for the Vikings, defensive end Brooke Balin coming into this game, leading the Lakeview with 4 sacks. Elijah Molman and Cody Thompson, your tackles. Camden Wilkie, the other defensive end. Linebackers include Jacob Sprunk, Nolan Viergutz, and Jacob Frenzen, as well as Thunder Pilikowski. That's a football name if I've ever seen it. Finishing things off, Brock Foltz, Isaac Dryfirst, Cameron Drozd, and Grant. Spoken a little about this, even though the records might be 2 games apart, seemingly 2 very evenly matched teams.
Yeah, and you mentioned Pilikowski. That's a commonly associated with very good athletes in this part of the state of Nebraska. And Thunder, what an awesome name.
So it looks like they're just about ready to do the national anthem. We will take one final break, and when we come back, we'll have kickoff as Scotus taking on Lakeview next. News Channel Nebraska.
At Gene Steffi Ford, our goal is to make your purchase a lasting experience. And at Gene Steffi Ford, we do just that. With a great staff, quality Ford products, and competitive pricing, we're sure to find the right vehicle for you. Our sales staff are among Ford's top in customer satisfaction rankings. Come meet our staff, and they'll treat you like family.
Vengan a conocernos.
Y los trataremos como familia.
Serving Columbus and surrounding areas.
Gene Steffi Ford, come and see what makes us different.
And that was your national anthem performed by the Lakeview Marching Band, who just turned on another tune. And folks, that means we are underway, or at least just about to get underway here, as Lakeview takes on Scotus. Grant, anticipating a fun one. Keys to the game real quick. Lakeview needs to find a way to slow down those Scotus weapons. They looked good against Aquinas, especially good against GICC last week. How do you think they do that?
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they kind of come out and game plan against this offense. They're they're going to throw a couple different things at you, and they're going to throw in a variety of plays. We've seen them kind of air it out a little bit here and there, and then also we've seen them kind of just blast it up the middle and try and overpower you and just say, hey, we're going to do what we're going to do, and we're going to try to better execute than you. So it'll be interesting. This matchup certainly, and specifically this district, is just one of the tighter districts that we've seen around the area, and it's kind of tough to tell who's going to come out on top. Boone Central Newman Grove is certainly the favorite, but depending on how Scotus does tonight, if they would be able to come up with an upset over Boone Central Newman Grove, that would throw things kind of in a haywire, but they would also need to get a big win over Ord, and Ord is certainly in position where maybe they can come on here in the portion of the season. So there's a lot of ifs going into this district, and this game certainly is going to be important as to how maybe the rest of the districts plays out.
So Scotus going to be kicking off to start the contest. Fireman kicking off for the Shamrocks, a junior. As we are well underway here, ball returned around the 4-yard line, and actually going to scoot around a lot of the Lakeview defense or kickoff team, as that's Brock Foltz getting it over past the 20.
Foltz wasn't even running that fast. You could see him on the return there, and it was back view, so you couldn't quite see how much ground he was taking up, but just kind of niftily running through defenders and eventually gets himself up to about the 25.
So now we see Jansen and the Lakeview offense. Started out, reminder, Jansen came into the game in the 4th quarter against Norfolk Catholic and has held the job since. Jaden Johnson still will see extensive action at the running back position. Ball's handed off right away and right up the middle. Lakeview starts it out, gets over 5 yards, and that's how you want to do it, pounding the rock down the middle.
And I think even we kind of thought going into this game that maybe they're going to test up the middle and test Rin Allen and see how that core portion of the defense can stand up, if maybe they can outperform them up there. It'll be interesting to see if that's what they stay with the rest of the matchup, but I would suspect that they will continue to kind of go up the gut as they go around the edge there quite often throughout the game.
So the sweep goes for a first down as Johnson finds his way across the first down marker. Scotus is a team that rearranged some things after week 1. Coach Linder moved linebackers from the middle to the outside and vice versa, just trying to get things right. Now he's very confident in his defensive unit.
And again, when we talked about Tyler Palmer and Caden Pellin getting injured earlier this year, and then Palmer kind of resetting into that quarterback position, he's done a really nice job, and maybe not wanting to re-injure Pellin, but also you have Palmer performing really well. He's got a great arm, and he's done a great job back there in the pocket. You almost don't want to ruin something. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And so they've kept him back in there in that position. It's worked out so far, and the offense has been really explosive. And that's nothing against Pellin or by any means, but Palmer's just kind of done a really nice job here since he took over.
So now we're going to see Jacob Frenzen, the junior, not gain too much ground as the Shamrock defense looking pretty good early. We saw them 2 weeks ago, Grant, when they were very good against an Aquinas offense that can score points.
Yeah, Aquinas' offense is very similar to what Scotus runs, so you can maybe credit some of that to they know what offense they are going to run, and so they can game plan against it, but they're two teams that run an offense that you don't see across the rest of the state either. So they executed really well against a very good Aquinas team and stopped him better than anybody else has done so far this year, so you certainly need to take that into credit with how they were able to respond.
And Frenzen gets stopped after just gaining a yard or so. So Lakeview on their first possession going to be forced to punt.
Nice stop there for Scotus. You let a first down go, but eventually you do force the punt. So Mustard and Palmer back to receive. We'll see what those two and the rest of that Shamrock offense can do here.
And that's Jansen with the line drive style punt. Gets past Mustard. That's going to work real well for the Vikings. As Mustard does field it, loses the first couple would-be tacklers before getting the ball right around the 20-yard line.
A heck of a return there, especially after how far that thing went back. That was a great punt, landed it literally on about the 1-yard line, and so you cannot plan that much better.
So now we're going to see this Scotus offense, as Grant's talked about, led by Tyler Palmer, who has been quarterback for most of the year at this point, got into that Newman matchup. And they have had a guy really come along of late. Eric Mustard has been dynamic in the past few weeks and just a sophomore. As right now that's going to be to Lobbins, and he's going to find some space. First down and more as he finds the ball all the way across the 40-yard line. Braden Lobbins showing himself early on.
Lobbins another guy, too, that Mustard had a little bit higher of a stat line after that last game than Lobbins did, so we kind of were taught, we kind of brought up the question with Mustard and how he's been doing, but Lobbins, also a young man who has really done great so far this year. He kind of plays that blocking back position, but boy, when he touches the ball, he gets big yards.
And Lobbins was injured at the beginning of the year and has seen more and more action as the season's gone on, as Lakeview does not allow Scotus to gain much on that play. Going to force 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, great stop there by the Vikings, getting up in the middle and not allowing that to get any extra yards. They just kind of plugged those gaps up, and there was nowhere to run.
Sun beginning to come down here in Columbus. Lights already on. This is going to be a reverse for Lobbins, and he is going to be stopped short, actually behind the line of scrimmage, as a very aggressive Lakeview defense had him lose a few yards.
A huge stop by the Vikings there to potentially get themselves in a punting situation. They did a great job of covering up that far side and not allowing that reverse of sorts or the jet sweep to get out there on the edge. The days are getting a little shorter, John. Normally it's not till halftime when we have that sun going down, but.
And this is going to be play action as Palmer scans the field, eventually tries to get it over to Lobbins, but it's going to be dropped. And now Scotus is going to be forced to punt as the defense is looking strong early on here at Lakeview.
And Lobbins kind of in some short territory there. He caught that with about 5 yards to go for the first down still. I don't know if he would have been able to get up and get those yards, but you can see Palmer kind of holding on to it. He was looking for an open route. You saw he had some nice coverage downfield, and so he didn't have anywhere to go. But Palmer's a guy who's very elusive, and if they can get him out and around on those edges as the quarterback, he's very dangerous on his foot as well as with his arm.
And that one able to get off okay and returned, but caught from behind is Foltz yet again. Excellent pursuit there by the Scotus punt team.
Yeah, great job by those kind of spread guys to get downfield and fight through those blocks to make a tackle. He got the ball with a little bit of open space, but they closed it down really well.
Game brought to you by Cargill Value Added Meats in Columbus. Cargill, helping the world thrive. So first down from the 26-yard line is where Lakeview will start their offensive drive, the second one of the day. And it's going to be play action. And that ball going to be dropped as it was tight. Jacobsbrook just not able to hold on to it.
Ball just kind of getting bounced off the turf there as he was catching that one up, and so dragged a little bit and not going to get in time for him to catch that thing, so they will have to have an incomplete pass and go to down number 2.
So 2nd down and 10. And going to be a flag on the play. Likely false start here. Certainly something Coach Frenzen did not want to see.
Yeah, going to make it a little difficult moving back 5 yards. And of course, it's really tough starting off the drive with the penalty there.
Yeah.
Looking at their second play and making it that much harder on yourself to get a first down.
Lakeview coming to this game on a short week as they played last Friday, so they actually ended up practicing on Sunday of this week to make up for that. Scotus had the entire week of practice as they also played GICC on a Thursday last week.
Yeah, so it worked out a little bit better in their favor coming in here, but
it's going to be an option play right now given to Frenzen, but big-time tackle there by looked to be Palmer to stop Frenzen short of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Palmer doing a great job of getting his stick in there and holding his ground as he makes that hit, and they lose about a yard or two. Really nice job coming downhill, and you'll see him on some of those pass plays. They like to sit him back in that deep free safety spot so he can kind of just run side to side on the field.
3rd and 17. Lakeview needs a bunch of yards here, and they're going to get him as that pass caught by Isaac Dryfirst. Nice little play drawn up there by Coach Frenson. Gives Lakeview a first down.
Great call. They send him on the vert routes, and they just throw a quick shot. Ends up being right at about 16 yards, but he just kind of sat back in there and tossed that, and it was a really nice catch.
And so that's the first down of, the second Lakeview first down of the day, as they got one last drive before punting. So now they have the ball right around the 38-yard line. They're going to give it off to Frenson yet again, but he goes backwards.
I believe that was Ren Allen getting up there in the middle initially to make contact.
Brandon Hawin also in on that tackle.
So great job there by the linebackers and the D-line to get up there and fill right in the middle quickly.
With 3 backs in the backfield. Give it to Frenson again and finds a little bit more space that time before Scotus is able to gang tackle him. Still not much of a gain. It's going to set up a 3rd down and 8.
So maybe seeing him go back to the air here. You could see a nice job of the line, kind of moving the line of scrimmage initially. But some great fight there by Scotus to not allow any of those things to open up into holes.
So we'll likely get another chance to see Jansen's arm here. He's going to roll to the left and has a man, but it's going to be incomplete. Good defense there by Scotus as Dalton Borchers is getting on the receiver as soon as he touched the ball. And again, Lakeview going to be punting.
Yeah, good look there. You have a nice little rollout pass with it's about a 6-7 yard out and probably needed to be a little bit deeper, but you can see try to get kind of a quick motion and quick out in there. So I like the play. They had a nice little throw on it. They just couldn't quite connect.
This time, Scotus just sends one back. Tyler Palmer ready to receive. Scotus sending the pressure there. Nearly was able to block it. Punt pretty solid. Goes right around the 26, and that is where the Shamrocks will take over.
So strong defensive performance here so far. The offenses have looked good. They just haven't been able to put together a series. Scotus, of course, will try to do that here, but we've seen some great play by the linebackers here, getting across the field, getting into the backfield, and just running downhill to make contact with a lot of very fast running backs.
So we'll have another opportunity to see this Lakeview defense, forcing the Shamrocks to go 3 and out last drive. And this is going to be Lobbins again on a similar reverse play, and they're seemingly having success with that. I believe that's going to be a first down.
Yeah, kind of that jet sweep type action out of that a triangular of running backs. They got the 2 slots or the 2 wings set off the line, the traditional running back in the backfield. But does a really nice job of staying on his feet. Lakeview made contact in the backfield there, and he just kept his balance to get forward almost for a first down.
He's just going to be just short of that first down, 2nd and inches. And they're going to be pushed back that time around. That's Mustard on the carry. And Lakeview ready for that play.
Yeah, a huge step up there by the Lakeview defense. They saw that motion, and they just did a good job of reacting and getting in there on the right side now. We've seen Scotus throw in some trick plays throughout the season here, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets some misdirection off of one of those motions on one of the upcoming plays.
3rd and about 4 for the Shamrocks. They're going to go a fullback down the middle, going to be awfully close. Lakeview says they have the ball off a fumble, and they do!
Oh, my.
Fumble by the Shamrocks gives Lakeview excellent field position.
Tough break there for Scotus, but a big opportunity for the Vikings now in Scotus territory for the first time today. You can see that back into that play. Ball just popped out as he was getting tackled, and it looked like Scotus fell onto it. Another look there. It's tough to see. He kind of almost rolled underneath it, but I believe that was Jacob Frenson pulling that thing up.
Lakeview, good field position. Can they take advantage? This is Jansen eluding several tacklers. Gets a few yards, but a flag on the play might push him back.
Yeah, I'll be curious what the flag was. Really great pressure there by Scotus. You know, normally, obviously, in the backfield, you get that holding call. I just couldn't see where it would come from because it might have been a little bit deeper in the line behind some of where those linebackers are crashing in at. Holding it is.
Lakeview going to be pushed back. Have yet to see Lucas Thatcher in this game. He is suited up. He had I don't know if he pulled his hammy. He had a hamstring injury last week in the loss to Boone Central. Coach Frenzen made it sound like he will play, but might be being very cautious with the junior running back right now.
Maybe, too, it was something that was kind of nagging him before, too, but maybe hurt it a little bit more in that game.
And this is going to be a rollout for Jansen. Throwing on the move, and it's picked off. Tyler Palmer. And he's going to bobble the ball, and that's on the ground. Still unknown who has that ball, and just a wild play.
If Lakeview recovers, whoever it is, it's going to be a first down because of the change in possession. And it's Lakeview ball, so they get a fresh set of downs.
What a series of events right there. Palmer picks off his second pass in 2 games, but can't hang on to it.
Offense, I should say, doing a good job of turning into the defense and poking the ball out as Palmer was kind of running around. He's so hard to bring down, as you could see. But they'll give them a fresh set of downs because Scotus took possession and then Lakeview able to retake possession. 4:15 to go here in the first quarter, and we have got a good one so far.
A defensive battle right now. Lakeview catches a break after throwing a pick. And this is going to be a Jansen keeper up the middle. A little bit of a safer play for the Vikings. And going back to that last play, Grant, I think one thing Lakeview doesn't want to see is Jansen throwing while he's on the move. It looked off balance while he was throwing it. And as I mentioned, Vikings got lucky that Palmer fumbled that.
Yeah, it's one of those things, too, as you get out in motion. Obviously, if you're not set, it's a tough throw to make. You often end up throwing off your back leg, and so he does not a bad job if he's throwing to the left. This is one of those big plays, it looks like.
And there is Thatcher, who we were talking about earlier. He was quiet early on, but he has the biggest carry of the day as Lakeview grabs a first down.
And we kind of talked about Lakeview's precedent so far when they put points up on teams has been big chunks of yardage at a time. Now, granted, a lot of those have even been like 60-yard plays, and so I don't know if you're going to see that here tonight, but certainly they're kind of a big play offense now. They do drive it and have some drives, but we've seen them so many times take big shots down the field in the running game.
This time it's going to go over to Frenzen. He's going to be stopped pretty quickly. Thatcher actually set the Lakeview rushing record in week 1, but then he's battled injuries since then. Frenzen had over 200 yards 2 weeks ago in the win over O'Neill.
Yeah, a heck of a running back, and he's just had an excellent season. It's been a lot of fun to watch him and just kind of follow his progress this year, and I hope he can stay healthy because he's a fun kid to watch.
So this is going to be the read option, and Jansen going to get lit up. So it's going to force a 3rd down and 9 for Lakeview, and this is going to be a big possession. So we'll see what the Vikings can muster up here. Scotus showing blitz is going to be passed and caught. That should be in for the first down.
That'll be about the 3-yard line. 4-yard line.
I believe that was Brooke Balin on the catch.
Nice little pitch and catch over the middle. A nice toss. And Lakeview taking advantage of that second life that they found.
Game partially brought to you by Pete's Ranch of Columbus, who wants to wish the best of luck to all area athletes. And they invite all students to join them on Thursdays. Student Show your ID day. Get the buffet for $8. Run down the middle for Jansen. Will be stopped short.
Falling on the 1-yard line.
Can Lakeview get into the end zone? It would be big early on. At the very least, after the first quarter, points just may be at a premium in this contest. So it looks like second down, maybe on the 2, 1.5, somewhere in that vicinity. Working from the pistol is Jansen, and looked like the run might have been a miscommunication there as he held the ball out like it was a fake. No running back in the area, and Jansen not able to get anything.
Yeah, it looked like it was supposed to be maybe a read option type play where they run that dive up the middle. But a little bit of confusion there.
Thankfully for Lakeview, they didn't lose anything on that play as Jansen was at least able to spring forward back to the line of scrimmage. But now here comes the big third down, and we'll see if it becomes 4-down territory. It's going to be a run down the middle from Frenzen, and Lakeview says they haven't. Refs have not made a sign yet. I think he's going to be just short. He will be. So 4th and inches on the goal line. Lakeview going to go. Hurry up offense as we might see a quarterback sneak here. That's what we see.
They wouldn't have got it.
But a flag on the play. At least that's what's down there right now. We'll see what the referees have to say. And they're going to say offsides on Scotus, so a new set of downs.
At least halfway to the goal here. I don't know if the downs will reset, but it'll be on the half-yard line, so.
Nonetheless, another shot here for Lakeview.
Now, it could be due to the offsides, but they wouldn't have got it there on that last play. They got plugged up there up the middle. Certainly an offsides or an early jump could attribute to that extra push.
So, 4th and goal yet again, and I think we might have another offsides. We do. So 2 offsides penalties from Scotus. I mean, at that point, Lakeview's moving up, a few inches. But
yeah, it's not going to make a huge difference, but certainly you're right on the goal line.
About as close as you get without actually being in the end zone.
At this point, it comes down to whose line can push harder.
And they're actually going to do a trick play, and it's going to be caught. That's Balin in on the touchdown catch. Coach Frenzen pulling out the tricks early on.
My word, and I was not expecting that of all plays to come out. You see it every once in a while, but normally they do that play out of a shotgun or a pistol type snap where he catches it, runs forward, and then jumps up and throws it. A little unconventional there in a risky play on inches and just barely getting in there. That's one of those as a receiver. If you're Balin, your eyes are a little wide because it's just kind of floating in the air.
Couple of Scotus defenders were right in that area as we see that ball hit a couple of hands before hitting the post. So 6-0, Lakeview will take the lead in several exciting series of events. We'll just have to take a break and come back as Scotus will try to answer next on NCN.
Quail Run Golf Course has matured into one of the top-ranked public courses in Nebraska since its inception 25 years ago. With its tempting par 5s, deceiving par 3s, and fair but demanding par 4s, players are sure to be challenged. You're invited to come try the practice facilities, join a league, schedule a lesson, or just get out and play. Quail Run Golf Course, Columbus, Nebraska.
Lakeview on top, 6-0 over their rival Scotus as a touchdown pass from Jansen to Brooke Bale and a trick play on 4th and goal from the 1. John Kipper, Grant Otten out here at Lakeview as the Vikings now going to be kicking off to the Shamrocks. Just about done with the first quarter. 14 seconds to go before they flip sides. Right now, here's Palmer. Makes the first man miss and actually has several misses. He takes the ball over to the 36-yard line. What a run there by the Scotus quarterback.
And a strong start to a potentially big drive here. We're winding down and we're going shortly into the second quarter after about 5 seconds, but a big opportunity here for Scotus if they get the opportunity to get in here and get some points back on the board, potentially take the lead.
So we'll have Scotus run one play, and that will be a handoff. And that's going to get about a 5-yard gain there. Solid carry from Zach Byerman, and that is going to do it for the first quarter. And so after one, it is Lakeview 6, Scotus 0. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the second quarter next on News Channel Nebraska.
Tired of unlimited plans that aren't really unlimited? They're pulling your strings. We say cut those strings and fall into savings at Fiero. For just $100 a month, get 2 lines with truly unlimited mobile data and more hotspot data. It's better unlimited in every way: price, coverage, and value. Plus, get awesome smartphones like the iPhone 6s or the Galaxy S7 for under $10 a month. Or choose from other great free smartphones. For real savings with no strings, switch to Fiero today.
Nebraska Harvest Store, your Bobcat dealer for sales, service, parts, and rentals. See them today for all your Bobcat needs.
Back here live on News Channel Nebraska. Second quarter now underway as Scotus has second down and 5. Trailing the Vikings 6-0. Inside handoff for Byerman. Lots of space as he crosses midfield over near the 40-yard line. A big burst there from the Scotus back.
Yeah, a lot of versatile guys stepping up into this running back lineup that we've talked about here quite a bit already, but it's been fun to see them kind of develop and come into the spotlight here this season.
So Shamrocks trying to put together a drive themselves. Palmer going to run the option, keep it himself, and find a little bit of space and some more with that spin move. It's about an 8-yard gain on that play. Going to set up a 2nd and 2.
And as a coach, I think that spin move makes you dangerous when there's someone wrapped on that leg. You certainly don't want to injure yourself, but able to get himself forward and put them in great position here on 2nd down. And Scotus essentially driving from the exact same spot Lakeview was at, on the same side of the field as we were in the first quarter.
So here is another option play. Palmer with the late toss over to Mustard, and that's going to work as Mustard finds the first down before getting caught out of bounds.
Yeah, a very late toss, but a great job by Mustard to stay on line there from that running back position. As contact was made decently late there on Palmer, but it was a good pitch and a good first down.
10:55 left to go here in the second quarter. Lakeview going to flip sides this time. Byerman, who continues to find space down the middle, is going to score a touchdown.
Byerman gashing the defense to get in there for 6. What a play.
A 28-yard run for the junior will tie this one up at 6.
What a play. The big play in the run has been looking good for both these teams. Scotus has just been itching to bust a big one like that so far in this matchup, and Byerman able to break free and get on the board.
So after a first quarter that took around 11 minutes for someone to score a touchdown, we've had 2 touchdowns in the series of about a minute and a half as we see the extra point go through. So Scotus will take their first lead of the game. Lakeview, now we'll see what they can find on offense next on News Channel Nebraska.
So we asked, which is faster, your cell phone or the phone book?
My cell phone.
I think cell phone. I would say that my phone is faster. Oh, got it. Loading.
Okay, I got it. My phone is not working, of course. Got it. Phone book is faster, definitely. I think I might get a phone book.
I would definitely try the phone book first.
Let your fingers do the walking through your local independent Yellow Pages.
Welcome back to Lakeview High School. As you can see, a good shot of the field right now. 7-6. Scotus on top after Zach Byerman's 28-yard trot into the end zone. And we've seen 2 consecutive possessions that both teams have been able to score.
Almost didn't quite get into the second quarter before that first touchdown. A big defensive matchup there early on in the first quarter.
So Byerman, who was just able to score that touchdown, will now kick off. Has it over to around the 10-yard line. And it's returned over around the 24 before the Scotus Shamrock stop thing. So here comes Lakeview yet again. Interesting last possession where they actually threw a interception to Tyler Palmer, but a fumble gave them new life. Lucas Thatcher had a run into the red zone where eventually they were able to score off a 4th and goal play action pass that was essentially a fake quarterback sneak.
Yeah, fake dive dump pass is what I labeled it on Twitter. A little up and over action. I think got famous really by Tebow when he was playing for the Gators, is when it kind of came into popularity.
And decent gain on that play for Lakeview. A late flag though, so we'll have to see what that is.
A heck of a chuck on the flag there. He made that one about 15 yards.
He got that flag right into where everybody was, certainly. And that's going to be a hold on the Vikings.
Coming from the back line, that'll be tough as they'll have to move back 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
It's a tough break there for Lakeview.
Pretty pinpoint precision pass on the flag there, though. He landed it right on the 30-yard line where the penalty occurred.
And he's just loosening up his arm. We'll have to wait till the 4th.
Getting ready to go. We might have to go see if he's trying to do any halftime passing clinics.
So 1st and 15 now for Lakeview. And this is going to be Jansen rolling to the right. He has some time. And eventually he's going to decide to keep it himself. Loses a few tacklers. Eventually he gets brought down. Solid gain for Jansen, about 6-7 yards.
Yeah, he was getting chased down on the backside, and it looked like he was going to get sacked in the backfield, but somehow able to stay on his feet and get 6 yards. This game brought to you in part by Great Plains State Bank. Should have checked them out here in Columbus and the surrounding area.
And we're going to have a big run here again from Thatcher over the 47-yard line. And man, the junior just getting going.
A heck of a run there down the left side, and talk about a kid who got 300, or was it 200 yards? 300 yards in that first game. He had
well over 200.
Yeah, he had I think it was 300. He set a school record, and it was just 60, 70-yard play after 60, 70-yard play. It was something else.
And that's going to be a fake to Thatcher, and Jansen nearly lost the ball, but after all, he gets a big gain. 1st down and more.
Yeah, I think that thing came out of his hands. And he just kind of still somehow held on to it. A good rip there by the defense. Somehow held on to it, and Lakeview is moving the sticks quite well on the ground right now.
And Grant mentioned Great Plains State Bank. Make sure you bank with a locally owned bank when you bank with Great Plains State Bank in Columbus, O'Neill, and Petersburg. So here's the rolling Lakeview offense, and finally Scotus gets a stop on first down, pushes Thatcher back.
Be sure to check us out at NCN Sports on Twitter. Of course, everything that we do is going to go through that Twitter, NCN Sports Now. Tweet at us. Let us know where you're watching from, and we will give you a shout-out. Let us know who you're rooting for, too. But certainly all of our content and all of our live games we will post directly to there, so you can follow us for all of everything that we have going on NCN Sports Now. Look at this.
And here's Thatcher again going down the sideline. He's running wild right now. I think that Hammy's okay.
Thatcher is not the biggest guy on the field, and he's not a power back by any means, but his vision is just great, and he does a great job of gashing teams on the edges and just finding a gap to run. He hits it really hard, and boy, he is making some big gains right now.
Coming into this 5'7", 155 pounds, using every inch of his body. So not big gain there. Going to force a second down and 9.
So good job by the Scotus defense stepping up there. They did a good job on the previous first down of stepping up. They'll just need to put it together. And they want to prevent Lakeview from getting on the board here.
Jet sweep over to Thatcher and doesn't go too far. Maybe 2 yards on that carry. Going to set up around a 3rd and 7.
Yeah, and I think 3rd and 6 maybe officially here. But certainly going to be not the easiest first down to get by any means. They're going to have to pull out a nice play here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go to the air. They've mixed in that passing game pretty well here.
And this is kind of the area where you wouldn't be shocked if Friends and Alexis to go for it as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do. We could be in 4-down territory, certainly.
Going to be Jansen rolling to the right. Lots of space for him. Scotus trying to close that down. Now Jansen forced to switch sides. And he has some space. Will he just take off and run? He will. And he is not going to get there, as Scotus did a good job staying home and really didn't allow him to get too far.
Yeah, it looks like it ended up being about a 2-yard gain. So it's going to be 4th and 4. And we'll see what they decide to do. They're going to exchange some units. So I think they're going to bring the kicking unit on. And this will give them the chance to retake the lead down 6-7. That first PAT getting blocked on the opposite side of the field. And John, we are under the lights now.
Yes, we are. So here's Jansen. And that kick hit it well, and that is right through the uprights. Nice kick there by the junior. So it's a 9-7 game right now. 6:14 left to go in the first half. See what Scotus can do next on NCN.
I promise.
I promise.
I promise to help you find the right vehicle at the right price.
Yo me comprometo. I promise over 8 acres of the finest cars and trucks in Northeast Nebraska.
I promise to help you find a finance option that fits your needs, no matter your credit.
I promise.
I promise. I promise we'll fix your vehicle right the first time.
Hi, I'm John Ernst, and we promise to do what it takes to earn your business every day.
Lakeview High School. As it's 9-7, Lakeview on top of Scotus. 6:14 left to go here in the first half. Cage Jansen knocking in a field goal from around 27 yards to give Lakeview the lead. Kicking off to Mustard. And he's able to cross the 20 and looking really fast right now as Mustard, using his speed, gets it around the 40-yard line. So the Shamrocks going to start out with good field position. We'll see what Scotus can do with this field position. They were able to take it down the field last time out.
Yeah, they did a really good job. The offense has just picked up since about 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, and we're seeing some big run plays by both teams. That one goes for about 3, but we've seen some new energy, I think, out of both squads.
They like to get Lobbins in on the outside, not able to really break through there. I'm sure they're going to keep trying to go to something similar.
And again, they don't do anything too crazy. You know, they'll throw in a few trick type plays or a little misdirection in there, but they run the same playbook they run every year, and they're just going to try and do it better than you do.
And that one not going too far for Byerman. Lakeview doing an excellent job of pursuing, going to set up a 3rd and 7 for Lakeview, or for Scotus, excuse me.
So going to be some tough yards to pick up, but I'll be curious if they go to the air again. We haven't seen them do it too much tonight. Maybe get Palmer out on the edge. If he's got some room, he can take off running. And a little bit of a tight set, too. You have one stand-up there on the far side.
Palmer will look to go to the air, trying to get over to Lobbins. He catches it, and he's going to get a first down past midfield.
Nice snag there by Lobbins. And then just does what he can to get those extra yards and gets a 1-yard gain past the first down marker. Good job reaching out and extending to snag that thing before accelerating for the first.
And Scotus right at that 50. Actually, I believe they're on the 49 of Lakeview at this point.
4 minutes to go. Or excuse me, just under 5 minutes, 4:40.
Plenty of time for the Shamrock offense as Byerman gets one down the middle, breaks a tackle, and gets about 9 yards on that carry as he continues to show that he is one tough runner.
Yeah, he is just grinding up those yards up the gut. It's going to make it only a 2nd and 2.
Shamrocks getting Mustard and Lobbins on the outside and really kind of sticking to Byerman right now down the middle.
Yeah, he's done a good job of just kind of chugging his feet along, and you're seeing some great pressure there by those offensive linemen up front to open up a gap for him to explode to get to the next level.
And it's going to be a screen pass, a risky one, over to Mustard, and he has space over to the 30-yard line. That could have gone badly, but Scotus able to make yards out of it.
Yeah, Palmer getting tackled on the back end and limping a little bit after that one. Hopefully he's okay.
Elijah Molman gave him one big hit. And so timeout on the field as they might just want to give Palmer a little bit of a breather. 4:04 left to go in the first half. More next on NCM.
My husband and I farm north of Blair. We know few things are as important to Nebraskans as land. In fact, many of us who work for TransCanada in Nebraska grew up here. Like me, they're passionate about land, water, and wildlife, the very things we work hard to protect. As an environmental specialist, I'm committed to working together to care for the environment. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. After all, Nebraska is our home too.
Back here live on News Channel Nebraska 48 and NCNSportsNow.com. John Kipp for Grant Otten. Here for a good one right now. A rivalry match between Scotus and Lakeview. With the home squad, the Vikings, up by 2, but Shamrocks put a good drive together.
Yeah, both running games have just, again, exploded here in the second. It's almost a fumble.
Oh, I believe it
or
was
a pitch.
Double reverse.
Yeah.
First going to Lobbins, and he was heading to the near side before giving it off to Mustard, and it was a little bit of an awkward exchange, but they did not fumble.
He almost looked like maybe he was losing it as he was trying to pitch it off, but they got the exchange in, and they ended up gaining about 2 yards. We do see them run that play quite a bit the past couple of weeks, so they will mix that in there, but this is the first time they've run it this game.
2nd and 8 now for the Shamrocks. It's going to be the option play. Palmer going to keep it himself, and he's going to have some space. Grinds it over to the 16-yard line. That's going to be good for the first down.
A great play call there. Very well blocked on the edge. Palmer sees a little bit of an opening there, and you can see the acceleration ability he has, really picking it up into a second gear as he dashed forward for that big gain. Ended up getting about 10 yards on the play.
So Scotus not really working against the clock. In fact, they probably don't mind if that winds down a little bit more. Just still over 3 minutes to go in the half. That one's fumbled by Palmer. He immediately is able to pick it back up. And so they're going to lose about 3 yards on that play, set up a 3rd and 11.
If you're Lakeview, if you can't stop the score, you do want to get the ball back with at least 2 minutes left with how heavily focused their offense is on the run. Now, they do the pass. They just they do have a high percentage of run plays in their offense. Now, of course, you'll see that change a little bit if they get into a 2-minute spread, but really going to depend on if they can get a stop here or how quickly they get a stop here.
So rolling to the left right now, and that goes over to Byerman, and it's caught, and he gets awfully close to the first down. I think he got it. So first down, and a goal from the 6-yard line right now. Scotus threatening to take the lead back. And it's going to be a double reverse again over to Lobbins, and he's going to be stopped at the 1.
Just a hair short. He's on about the half-yard line.
And this game partially brought to you by the Cornhusker Public Power District, your Touchstone Energy partner. Timeout on the field right now. Scotus wants to talk it over as they're on the 1. Lakeview going for the stop. We'll see if they can get it next on NCN.
At Columbus Motor Company, shopping for a new vehicle isn't as complicated during the Jeep Celebration event. At Columbus Motor Company, your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer, it's one low price, plain and simple, always. See them today at 2806 23rd Street or visit them at onelowpricene.com. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
Left to go in the first half. Scotus on the 1-yard line, trying to get the lead back. They were up 7-6 before Lakeview was able to drive down the field and kick a short field goal. So we'll see what the Shamrocks can do here.
Yeah, a big opportunity to take a lead here and really put the pressure on Lakeview because Scotus is going to return here at halftime.
And a big jumble in the middle.
They might have it. There it is.
Touchdown, Scotus, as they retake the lead 13-9.
Maybe a little jabbering there in the huddle there, as you can see the team slowly backing out there. And, of course, these rivalry games get heated between these two squads.
Yeah, no love lost necessarily between these two teams. We saw Lakeview did their annual car bashing. That was out on full display at the beginning, or I should say at the entrance of the stadium.
As it is every home game on display too, so.
And that one up and good. 14-9 right now as Scotus takes the lead, but Lakeview has a minute 47 to see what they can muster up. We'll see next in NCN.
My husband and I farm north of Blair. We know few things are as important to Nebraskans as land. In fact, many of us who work for TransCanada in Nebraska grew up here. Like me, they're passionate about land, water, and wildlife, the very things we work hard to protect. As an environmental specialist, I'm committed to working together to care for the environment. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. After all, Nebraska is our home too.
At Bank of the Valley, our commitment has always been to our customers and the communities we serve. Bank of the Valley is supporting our area schools by introducing the first School Pride Cards, a Visa check card with your choice of custom design for your local school. New and current customers can earn cash for the school of their choice by choosing one of 16 School Pride card designs. The Bank of the Valley School Pride card can be used anytime, anywhere. Show your school pride this year and sign up today by visiting any one of the 5 Bank of the Valley locations.
These are my people.
14-9. Scotus on top of Lakeview. Vikings have a little bit of work to do if they want to get that lead back. Solid return from Foltz, but a flag on the play may push it back. And one Scotus guy down on the field, and it looks like he's getting up, but a very late flag.
Yeah, I'll be curious what that last flag was. I'm not sure if maybe someone
that was well
saying
after
something.
the play
Yeah,
was over.
and he was just over by Scotus too, so I didn't see any Lakeview players over there. Maybe he saw something, but he was kind of turned away from where most of the players were. I think trying to figure out, maybe make sure they know what's going on here. So block in the back penalty going to go against Lakeview. Then a personal foul
Against Scotus.
That's going to be on the sideline, I believe. So
Linder out on the field right now. I think he wants an explanation. I don't think any ref has gone over and talked to him yet.
But they should just, I would think.
You can see him right there rocking the green pants today.
I think those would eliminate each other. So they counted the steps back and they're counting them forward again, but those should just.
Clearly they're not offsetting. I think what they want to say is that 15-yard penalty is against Scotus and a 10-yard penalty is against Lakeview. So they're going to bump up Lakeview 5 yards?
A block on the back is, you do have the 15 yards for the block in the back. Is it 10? Well, I want to look back at the rule book. Again, either way, so they're going to get the ball here at the 30-yard line, block in the back on Lakeview, personal foul on Scotus.
Minute 39, so Lakeview has some time, but not a lot, and looks like it's going to be a false start on Lakeview. So after all, Grant, nobody gains any yards.
No one gets any. It's just going to be, so first and 15, so it's going to be a tough
that's valid, yeah.
yardage to get, but nonetheless, if you're trying to go for a touchdown, that's maybe not your biggest concern. Of course, you do want to get a first down, but you're trying to get quite a few yards in a short period of time anyways. Friends in there, maybe trying to get some clarification on who jumped. What they'll set up here at the 25, well, about the 23, 22, yeah, right in that area. 22 officially, you're right.
Lakeview, they do have some time. They're going to need at least one big play, but they've shown, as we've seen runs from Thatcher, that they can do just that. And they are going to give it, they are going to give it to Thatcher. Yes, on the reverse, it fooled me. Didn't fool Scotus, though, as they knock him out of bounds around the line of scrimmage.
He ends up, actually getting back to close to the original line of scrimmage. Okay. So going to be a second down at about, I don't even say he went out of bounds a little bit shorter, so second and 12 to go. Second and 11 around that area.
We'll see how much Lakeview actually presses for this, or if they would elect just to run that clock down and make sure Scotus doesn't have a late opportunity. And this is going to be another quarterback keeper, and not getting far is Jaden Johnson.
Running tough, but not a lot of room to run. Linebackers got in there very quickly. And he just didn't have any space to move. Back to the line of scrimmage.
So 3rd and 12 now for Lakeview as that clock continues to go. I'm pretty sure Frenzen is content with just letting that clock expire.
Sure he'd like to take a shot. We'll see they're spreading out here. You also don't want to give Scotus the ball with too much time left in the clock if you have to give it back to him.
So here's Johnson scrambling. He does have Thatcher and knocked out of bounds around the 43, and actually the referee knocked over as well, and he's slow to get up.
Eventually does get back on his feet. I hope he's okay. He's kind of limping around. And I think he's going to...
Interesting move. I mean,
I hope he's okay.
Or so, yeah, obviously you hope the ref's okay. They're going to call a timeout to look over the ref, as I'm not sure how well he can get around.
He might have rolled an ankle or something. It looked like he was limping pretty bad, but I think he might have rolled his ankle.
So both sides going to head to the sidelines. We'll take a quick break as that ref talks to the Lakeview trainer. Well, more next than it's the end.
These are my people. This is the place that I come from. This is my piece of this America I love. There's nothing like it. From sea to shining sea. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be. Yeah. These are my neighbors. This is the team that I stand for. This is my daylight, all night world and so much more. This is my hometown. These are my friends and family. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be. Yeah, there's nowhere else on earth that feels so good to me. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be.
Did miss one play. Thatcher able to get about 8 yards right around midfield, just short on the 49 of Lakeview. That clock continues to go. Lakeview does have one timeout left, and I believe they elected to use it as the refs stopped the clock.
Actually, yeah, I wonder what they're conversing right now. So if anything, you almost have an officials stoppage.
Yeah, I don't think Lakeview did call a timeout. I think that was just the officials getting on the same track. So Lakeview coaches tell them to go as they kind of caught a break there. Free timeout. So that clock continues to go. Johnson airs it out and nearly picked off as Colson Cush was the only one to get a hand on it. Lakeview did the job, though, of stopping the clock. 24.2 seconds left.
Yeah, just a little bit too far on the shot there down the sidelines. It's been kind of their go-to play in these situations. Try to get one of those guys kind of streaking down the sidelines on a quick pass.
So Jaden Johnson in there at quarterback, the original starter of the season. At some point in this ball game, Coach Frenzen elected to go to Johnson. And that one's going to be handed off on the jet sweep to Thatcher and knocked backwards by that Scotus defense. Going to set up a 4th down, and I bet Frenzen will just let this clock run out.
Yeah, I think he's just going to take this one into halftime here, or potentially maybe take a timeout with just a few seconds left.
He is just going to let it expire. So after 2 quarters, Scotus holds the 14-9 lead, but Lakeview certainly showing pretty well themselves. That should set up one heck of a second half. We will take a break, and when we come back, we should have at least some halftime interviews in here to talk about kind of what's going on tonight here at Lakeview High School.
Yeah, we got the food feud going on, so we'll have some FFA students from Scotus and Lakeview stopping up.
Well, there you go, and hopefully we'll have some first half highlights later on in the Columbus Community Hospital halftime show next on News Channel Nebraska.
At Gene Steffi Ford, our goal is to make your purchase a lasting experience. And at Gene Steffi Ford, we do just that. With a great staff, quality Ford products, and competitive pricing, we're sure to find the right vehicle for you. Our sales staff are among Ford's top in customer satisfaction rankings. Come meet our staff, and they'll treat you like family.
Vengan a conocernos.
Y los trataremos como familia.
Serving Columbus and surrounding areas.
Gene Steffi Ford, come and see what makes us different.
It's our privilege to make a healthy difference in Columbus, and it shows in all we do. Columbus Community Hospital is community-owned, which creates a culture built on commitment, compassion, and care. We nurture this strong sense of community in every decision and interaction, helping enhance the lives of patients we're proud to call friends and neighbors. It's no wonder community is our middle name. Learn more about our quality care and career opportunities today.
Hey guys, welcome back out here to Lakeview High School. The FFA hanging out with us up in the booth. You guys had the food feud today as well, so I'm going to have you guys all introduce yourself. We're going to start here with Scotus on the left, and we'll work our back way this way.
I'm Julia Piekler.
I'm Patrick Herkenbach. Andrew Hurley. Ethan Vincent.
All right, now we'll start back this way as we go. You guys, Lakeview hosting it this year. It's the 5th year you did it. Tell us a little about what you guys were doing.
So basically, we're just collecting food to donate to our local food pantry, and everyone brings either cans of food or they bring money, and $1 equals 2 cans.
Very cool. And Andrew, what was kind of the turnout you guys saw today?
Lakeview personally had a really good night. We got a lot more than we had last year, so I think it's a personal best for us.
And as you guys kind of host the event, is that going to give you guys a little bit of a boost?
Yeah, we have the home field advantage, sort of, but it's good to see everyone turn out like they did.
And for Scotus, how'd you guys do?
I've never been to one before, but we did, I think, pretty well. So,
when you see people kind of coming in and bringing food in, is it nice to see that there's people who care about the community are willing to kind of drop food off?
Yeah, it really is. It's really nice to see how many people brought food for both sides.
As you look, is this your first year as well?
Yeah, it's my first year helping out.
What was it like kind of doing it for the first time and seeing everything go on?
It was really refreshing to see how many people were willing to help out the community.
Very cool. And it's FBLA, not FFA. I was getting confused earlier too. But so did you guys do this as kind of a school project, or has it just kind of become this encapsulating thing that you guys do each year?
It's more of a school project for each school since we have chapters for each school, and it's just fun since our schools kind of compete a little bit, but it's fun bringing us together for one cause.
Very cool. And from Scotus, as you guys kind of talk about this and prepare for this, is it fun, kind of a fun that you can do a project that has an impact on the community?
Yeah, it's really nice to know that something that we do actually helps people in need.
Same with you?
Yeah, it's great.
Very cool. And Andrew will finish out with you too, because you're my favorite right now. Nothing you guys, but he helps out with our camera work a little bit, so I get to razz him every now and then. So, Andrew, as you see it kind of close out, any final thoughts on how this year went?
This year was a great turnout, like I said before, and just really excited to see how it all pans out.
Very cool. I'm going to have you guys introduce yourself one more time before we go out.
I'm Ethan Vincent.
Andrew Hurley.
Patrick Herkenbach.
Julia Piekler.
So an awesome year, a rivalry, not only on the football field, but out in the parking lot. Thank you, guys, and make sure if you don't donate tonight that you donate to either the Simon House or the Platte County Food Pantry where the food is going, and they appreciate your help, and we appreciate you guys supporting tonight. We'll be back with more football action in a little bit.
It's our privilege to make a healthy difference in Columbus, and it shows in all we do. Columbus Community Hospital is community-owned, which creates a culture built on commitment, compassion, and care. We nurture this strong sense of community in every decision and interaction, helping enhance the lives of patients we're proud to call friends and neighbors. It's no wonder community is our middle name. Learn more about our quality care and career opportunities today.
Quail Run Golf Course has matured into one of the top-ranked public courses in Nebraska since its inception 25 years ago. With its tempting par 5s, deceiving par 3s, and fair but demanding par 4s, players are sure to be challenged. You're invited to come try the practice facilities, join a league, schedule a lesson, or just get out and play. Quail Run Golf Course, Columbus, Nebraska.
Tired of unlimited plans that aren't really unlimited? They're pulling your strings. We say cut those strings and fall into savings at Viero. For just $100 a month, get 2 lines with truly unlimited mobile data and more hotspot data. It's better unlimited in every way: price, coverage, and value. Plus, get awesome smartphones like the iPhone 6s or the Galaxy S7 for under $10 a month, or choose from other great free smartphones. For real savings with no strings, switch to Viero today.
Nebraska Harvest Store, your Bobcat dealer for sales, service, parts, and rentals. See them today for all your Bobcat needs.
So we asked, which is faster, your cell phone or the phone book?
My cell phone.
I cell phone. I would say that my phone is faster. Oh, got it. Loading.
Okay, I got it. My phone is not working, of course. Got it. Phone book is faster, definitely. I think I might get a phone book.
I would definitely try the phone book first.
Let your fingers do the walking through your local independent Yellow Pages.
I promise.
I promise.
I promise to help you find the right vehicle at the right price.
Yo me comprometo.
I promise over 8 acres of the finest cars and trucks in Northeast Nebraska.
I promise to help you find a finance option that fits your needs, no matter your credit.
I promise.
I promise. I promise we'll fix your vehicle right the first time.
Hi, I'm John Ernst, and we promise to do what it takes to earn your business every day.
My husband and I farm north of Blair. We know few things are as important to Nebraskans as land. In fact, many of us who work for TransCanada in Nebraska grew up here. Like me, they're passionate about land, water, and wildlife, the very things we work hard to protect. As an environmental specialist, I'm committed to working together to care for the environment. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. After all, Nebraska is our home too.
We are back on News Channel Nebraska. Certainly to hear from those high schoolers about the food drive going on here at Lakeview High School, and it's certainly cool to be out here for this rivalry matchup. 14-9 right now. Scotus on top of Lakeview as we are well into the Columbus Community Hospital halftime show. About 7 to 10 minutes or so before we get back underway here for the second half. And Grant, we thought both these teams would be evenly matched. We thought both these teams would put up a good game. We have not been disappointed thus far.
No, it's been a great one here so far, and even saw Lakeview making a little bit of a drive there towards the end. Now, Scotus able to stop them, but who knows maybe what the playbook would have looked like if they would have had more time to kind of go downfield and go through the run like they did in the prior downs. But certainly we have a really good one here so far. Defensive heavy in the first quarter and just a explosion of offense there in the second quarter.
And so let's check out some of those first half highlights early on for Scotus. There is Braden Lobbins able to get several yards early on in their drive, and then a fumble by Scotus ended that drive. Lakeview able to recover, and that put them in really good field position. They got a break here, Grant, as Palmer fumbled it.
Yeah, a interception by Palmer on third down, and then eventually fumbled it, so they retook the lead and got a fresh set of downs, and then it came down all the way here where they were able eventually to put it in on fourth down. Yeah, a little dump pass after the fake dive. Just a nail-biting way to get into the end zone for the first touchdown of the game.
Certainly a bold move by Coach Frenzen, and it paid off. It'll be interesting to see what he has to say after this game in the coaches show about that particular play. And then one heck of a run there by Zach Byerman into the end zone, breaking a few tackles. He has looked strong early on. That put the score at 7-6. Then Cage Jansen, who has taken out of the quarterback position, getting it done from the kicker position, the 25-yard field goal or so. Actually, I think that was about 28 yards goes in, and that gave Lakeview the 9-7 lead, just over 6 minutes to go when Jansen was able to knock in the 3 points. But Scotus not done yet, as we see them drive down the field, and they were able to put it in off a Tyler Palmer QB sneak.
And just barely breaking through on the edge there, but a tough battle, 14-9. And yeah, this is exactly what we were hoping we were going to get when we came out tonight.
And Lakeview still on their halftime show. They have some type of pirate fixtures up on the field. Not exactly sure what they're going for.
It was a little bit of, I think it was part of the band theme. Now the band's exited. They still have to get the Pirates, the pirate theme.
You can't have that on the field during the game.
It would certainly make it more interesting, though.
Yes, it would add a different element, different dynamic to things. I think they're coming out there to get them now. Let's take another quick break, and when we come back, we should be getting pretty close to the second half kick. Next on News Channel Nebraska.
At Columbus Motor Company, shopping for a new vehicle isn't as complicated during the Jeep Celebration event. At Columbus Motor Company, your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer, it's one low price, plain and simple, always. See them today at 2806 23rd Street or visit them at onelowpricene.com. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
My husband and I farm north of Blair. We know few things are as important to Nebraskans as land. In fact, many of us who work for TransCanada in Nebraska grew up here. Like me, they're passionate about land, water, and wildlife, the very things we work hard to protect. As an environmental specialist, I'm committed to working together to care for the environment. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. After all, Nebraska is our home too.
At Bank of the Valley, our commitment has always been to our customers and the communities we serve. Bank of the Valley is supporting our area schools by introducing the first School Pride Cards, a Visa check card with your choice of custom design for your local school. New and current customers can earn cash for the school of their choice by choosing one of 16 School Pride Card designs. The Bank of the Valley School Pride Card can be used anytime, anywhere. Show your school pride this year and sign up today by visiting any one of the 5 Bank of the Valley locations.
These are my people. This is the place that I come from. This is my piece of this America I love. There's nothing like it. From sea to shining sea. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be. Yeah. I stand for. This is my daylight, all night world and so much more. This is my hometown. These are my friends and family. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be. Yeah, there's nowhere else on earth that feels so good to me. This is where I live and there's no place I'd rather be.
At Gene Steffi Ford, our goal is to make your purchase a lasting experience. And at Gene Steffi Ford, we do just that. With a great staff, quality Ford products, and competitive pricing, we're sure to find the right vehicle for you. Our sales staff are among Ford's top in customer satisfaction rankings. Come meet our staff, and they'll treat you like family.
Vengan a conocernos.
Y los trataremos como familia.
Serving Columbus and surrounding areas.
Gene Steffi Ford, come and see what makes us different.
It's our privilege to make a healthy difference in Columbus, and it shows in all we do. Columbus Community Hospital is community-owned, which creates a culture built on commitment, compassion, and care. We nurture this strong sense of community in every decision and interaction, helping enhance the lives of patients we're proud to call friends and neighbors. It's no wonder community is our middle name. Learn more about our quality care and career opportunities today.
And we are back live to Lakeview, 14-9. Scotus on top of the Vikings. As we're about 3 minutes away from second half kick, John Kipper, Grant Otten here on this special Thursday night. And probably you're wondering why these two rival schools are playing on a Friday night. We haven't got this confirmed, but really the only logical explanation is Friday night football is overtaken by Nebraska football tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that kind of plays out this year. Of course, some people mad and some just want to watch the Huskers,
right.
which, whatever suits everybody's taste, of course, but Friday night traditionally a high school football night, so we'll still be doing high school football. We'll be in
tomorrow.
Osceola and Fullerton, which will continue our rivalry week action, and we look forward to seeing how that broadcast pans out. That game is going to be a fun one to watch, I think. Two teams that are certainly looking and hoping to beat each other as Fullerton wants to stay undefeated and Osceola trying to take kind of an upset at this point.
And really those two teams kind of flipped the script on what we thought they were going to be like. When we went into it, we were hoping Fullerton would put a good product together. We hoped Fullerton would have a decent season and have a chance to take down Osceola. It's the opposite. Fullerton, undefeated on the year right now, and Osceola struggling at 2-3, but kind of like Scotus in the sense that they're likely better than their record.
Yeah, they've played some really tough teams so far and certainly have been pretty battle-tested through this point in the season. Fullerton, this will probably be their biggest test, I would think, maybe up to this point in the season. Osceola, but they've played hard. They've earned their wins, and they've really put a great season together. They got some really nice guys that do some good things for that squad, and so if they can take down Osceola, that would be huge for them as they look to make a potential playoff run. And Osceola, as they're trying to get back on track and look at a playoff run too, that would be a big run taking down undefeated Fullerton.
Yeah, I talked to Fullerton's coach today. He said they have a lot of goals, one of which being make it to the state championship. He made no bones about it. He says we made it to the playoffs plenty, and that, of course, is a goal, but we want to get farther. So they're able to take down Osceola. That would be a big win as Osceola team that was actually the #1 seed on the East bracket last year before being taken down by Sacred Heart in one of the best high school games of the year.
Yeah, that game was unbelievable. And really, the winner of that game, I think, was basically going to be the state champion.
Them or BDS was also in that fray.
Yes,
but yeah,
it was a heck of a battle. Yeah, BDS, a very good team last year, and unbelievable team this year. They've really turned things on. But, yeah, Osceola was on the edge of making a state championship run last year, lost in a heartbreaker. That game certainly could have gone either way. If one thing goes in the favor in the different direction, Osceola's coming away with the victory. Fall City just happened to have one thing go in their favor that kind of tilted the scales the opposite way. So it was maybe one of the funnest games certainly to call all season. It was a fun one. I was with Brandon Axman on the TV. You were doing radio, so we were both getting a chance to watch and commentate on that game. But, boy, that was a blast. So I hope you guys tune in tomorrow night. If you don't, we understand too. Husker football also going on, but I hope you guys take a chance to maybe put us on a second stream. Get the phone up. MichiganSportsNow.com. Have that one going on the side. You can tune in with us while you watch some Husker football and hang out for the evening.
As for this one, Grant, Lakeview finds themselves down by 5, but they certainly are in this game. What do you think they need to do to try to get past Scotus in the second half?
It'll be interesting. It may, potentially could come down to who gets the ball last and who's able to put some points on the board last. The second quarter, if that's kind of what continues to go on, both offenses looking really good. You saw some explosive runs from those running backs. The linemen were opening up some big pockets for those running backs to kind of blow through and get to the second level. We had a couple plays bust over 10, 15 yards. You had the 128-yard touchdown for Scotus there on their first touchdown of the day. But it's been fun, and Thatch has been busting off some big 15, 20-yard plays too. So we'll see. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to have to do. It's going to probably come down to defense, whose defense can step up and prevent the other offense from running the way they have. If they can cap it off, we've seen some really good stuff from both Ds as well, then I don't know. That'll probably be the big key for either team, having a big defensive game in the second half.
Yeah, you mentioned Thatcher. It was almost like he could hear me when I said he was being quiet. He got going right after I said that as we see the pooch kick over to Scotus. Nice return there as they get past the 40. And so the Shamrocks going to have pretty good field position as they take over.
Yeah, won't be bad at all starting on that, looks like 41-yard line. Certainly not a bad place to be when you can get across the field for a first down. and get into Lakeview territory, I mean, that just kind of opens up the offense's eyes. I think once you get into the opposing team's territory, it makes things a lot more comfortable, a lot more gettable, I guess, in your mind.
And play down the middle goes for about 5 yards, maybe 4 yards, as Scotus gets to a 2nd down and 6.
This game brought to you in part by Loop Public Power. Home base there in Columbus. The Loop Power District is serving you electrically, conservation, power, and progress.
So 3-yard gain there, and that's going to be 2nd down and 3, and gets about 3 more yards on the carry. That's Logan Mueller. Haven't heard much from Mueller, Grant, in the first half. This is a guy that didn't play football the last 2 years, but has really come on for Scotus.
Yeah, he's had a great performance in the last couple of games especially, too. You're seeing him get some big carries, and Coach Linder very excited to work him into the offense and get him some touches because he's done some really nice things when he's gotten the ball.
So 3rd and 4 now for Scotus. It's going to be the option play. Palmer has some time, and he gets a block from Mustard, and that's going to leap him past the 1st down marker. What heck of a block there from the running back.
Yeah, good read there by Mustard, and you could see Palmer look like he was kind of signaling to Mustard to go block, and good job by Mustard to kind of pick up on that. Now, you could have maybe pitched it to and then had Palmer kind of block, but I think in the way they're positioned is they're kind of spreading the field there. Mustard a little further downfield in better position to block, but good job by the duo.
So 1st down and 10 for the Shamrocks. Their offense really has got going after the first few possessions. Now we're going to see a trick play as that's Byerman, all sorts of space to the 20-10. He's going to score.
Byerman underneath, tucking it up. Palmer does a good job of fitting it in. We've seen that play before, but that's the biggest. I think they've run it all season. A heck of a job selling that one. The line moving out in motion to the right side, carries the defense with him. You see Palmer just tucked it up there, and then he just got to show off that speed a little bit. Very timely that we kind of start talking about him, too.
Palmer really sold the draw. I mean, it looked like a full-on pass play, and then he just kind of flipped it over to Byerman, where he was able to really maneuver the defense as he had all sorts of space, and full-purpose athlete kicks through the extra point as well. So 21-9 right now, Shamrocks on top of Lakeview. The Vikings need to get going here in this 3rd quarter. We'll see what they can do next at NCN.
Tired of unlimited plans that aren't really unlimited? They're pulling your strings. We say cut those strings and fall into savings at The Arrow. For just $100 a month, get 2 lines with truly unlimited mobile data and more hotspot data. It's better unlimited in every way: price, coverage, and value. Plus, get awesome smartphones like the iPhone 6s or the Galaxy S7 for under $10 a month, or choose from other great free smartphones. For real savings with no strings, switch to The Arrow today.
Back here live on News Channel Nebraska. One heck of a run from Zach Byerman. Good blocking there from the Scotus line. And Shamrocks up 21-9 on their rival. Kickoff over at about the 10. That's dropped initially. And not able to get back to the 20-yard line is Foltz. And so Lakeview will certainly have their hands full here, but they certainly showed in that first half that they can move the football. Now the question remains, can they move it enough to continue to score? First down and 10 from the 18. Can be a read option play as.
I believe that's Johnson still.
Yeah, so Frenzen elects to keep in Jaden Johnson.
Good pickup there. Johnson gets 5 yards.
And there is a man down on the field. I believe, yeah, that is Brandon Nguyen, one of the stronger Scotus linemen, a two-way starter.
Boy, and hope he's okay. You never want to see anybody get hurt, but they'll come and examine, I think, his ankle or leg here quickly. So
yeah, he went down in that Aquinas game, got back into the game, so hopefully it's a similar issue. Coach Linder out there. We're going to take a break as they evaluate Brandon Nguyen. More next on NCN.
Nebraska Harvest Store, your Bobcat dealer for sales, service, parts, and rentals. See them today for all your Bobcat needs.
So we asked, which is faster, your cell phone or the phone book?
My cell phone.
I think cell phone. I would say that my phone is faster. Oh, got it. Loading.
Okay, I got it. My phone is not working, of course. Got it. Phone book is faster, definitely. I think I might get a phone book.
I would definitely try the phone book first.
Let your fingers do the walking through your local independent Yellow Pages.
So it doesn't look great for Scotus' Brandon Nguyen. Very slow to walk. He's not putting any pressure on one of those legs. It looks like his right leg, the one of issue. So obviously you hope he just tweaks something and that he's going to be okay.
That's tough too. You know, it looked like they were examining his ankle. I certainly hope that's all it was. I've had several ankle injuries during my career in college and high school football, and so those you can recover from, especially as a lineman. And it's important to have strong ankles when you're driving and you're pushing. But you know, if you can get it comfortable enough in a place where you can brace it up, wrap it up, and kind of get back out there, then maybe sprinting's not ideal. You're not going to be beating anybody in a race, but
I don't think that's what Brandon Nguyen's trying to do.
No, and so certainly if he can get back out there eventually, maybe it won't be this game with how he's kind of delicately walking off. I certainly hope the young man's all right. We'll send our prayers and best wishes to him.
So we'll see if Lakeview can take advantage of the lack of one of their star defensive linemen. Nothing there as Scotus pounces on the run game.
Hey, good job there. Don't forget to tweet at us at NCN Sports, hashtag NevPreps, hashtag Small Towns Matter is where we will be tweeting at, but let us know where you're watching from. We'll give you a shout out. I'm going to go through and check out shout outs here pretty soon, but let us know who you're rooting for too.
3rd and 5 now for Lakeview. Several in the backfield right now. Here is the jet sweep for Thatcher and going to be stopped short. So Scotus still playing strong defensively. And we'll see what Lakeview elects to do. You would think they're going to have to punt here. No sign of punting right now. Palmer was back there ready to go. We'll see if they just elect to pooch it. Now it looks like they might do that, but still no sign from Lakeview yet. Johnson still behind center. Looks like he's calling a play. Now he's backing up like he's going to punt.
Maybe trying to get them to come off sides or potentially get some yardage up there, but Scotus holds tight.
And it is returned by Palmer, trying to get to the near sideline and get across midfield before being knocked down. So Scotus will take over on Lakeview's 49-yard line.
So solid return there. Scotus in good position. They can really get themselves in nice position here in the third quarter if they can get some more points on the board. We'll see what the Lakeview defense has to say about it, but a big opportunity, especially in a rivalry matchup here in the third quarter. If you can jump on them early, that definitely gives you some big momentum going into the rest of the third and the fourth.
almost exactly at midfield is Scotus right now. And if they're able to score another touchdown, that's going to be real tough for Lakeview to come back from.
Yeah, we have plenty of time left, certainly, for them to do so, but a lot of momentum goes in favor of the other team. And if we would have a comeback in any game, certainly this, I think, would be the one set up to see one of those comebacks if one team was to go up by a couple of touchdowns.
Byerman, after the touchdown run, gets stopped well short of the first down, just a 1-yard run from the junior. So 2nd and 9 for the Shamrocks. And this one's going to be an option for Palmer. Makes a spin move a couple of times and then gets pushed forward. I believe Scotus' Evan Hand was able to knock him 4 yards and gets close to the first down.
And he kind of came in there and threw a hit on him, but jarred him loose. And eventually he kind of got squished there on the back end, so I hope he's all right. A solid hit there from the backside linebacker. But now a manageable 3rd down.
And similar to Lakeview, Scotus does have a very capable backup in Caden Pelham. Coach Linder said everybody needs a Brooke Behringer on their team, and that's Pelham's job on the Shamrocks. Double reverse right now to Mustard, and a lot of space down the middle. Mustard over to the 21-yard line.
A big gain there. And what a run by Mustard. We haven't seen much out of him today so far, but
not a ton.
Certainly breaking through and making himself known on that play. A big carry up. That thing just kind of opened up, and it didn't stay open very long, but he didn't need very long to get through.
He can accelerate very quickly. Coach Linder certainly uses that skill set.
We got a great rush of talent here in the backfields for Columbus, Lakeview, and Scotus across the boards. It's been fun to watch all 3 teams play this year.
And that's going to be a false start on the Shamrocks. Push them back 5 yards over to around the 26. .6:51 to go, just about halfway through the 3rd. Lakeview really has been struggling to get much of anything going here in this 3rd quarter. So 1st and 15 for Scotus. Going to be play action. Palmer initially looks deep, then just has to try to avoid the rush. He will eventually get brought down by Lakeview's Jacob Sprunk.
Nice job getting around there and putting some pressure on the QB. One of those, I guess we would qualify as a coverage sack. Good job downfield to covering up those receivers and not allowing Palmer to get that thing loose.
That would be Sprunk's 3rd sack of the season. So 2nd and 17 now for the Shamrocks. They got quite a long ways to go, and we see another double reverse, this time to Lobbins. And he gets a lot of it back, certainly back to the original line of scrimmage. He's going to set up around a 3rd and 7.
Yeah, a nice hard-headed run. And right now you certainly are in field goal range, I would say, for Scotus. We've seen him attempt to, or they went to attempt about a 56-yard field goal.
It
was a long one. They ended up having a penalty, and they couldn't, or it was a broken play is what it was, and they weren't able to attempt it. It ended up being an interception for a touchdown, but they attempted a 51-yarder too. That was very close.
This time it's going to be an option over to Mustard, trying to get to the sideline, and he is going to get the first down. So the Shamrocks facing a 2nd and 17, able to put a couple plays together. Now they have a 1st and goal, Grant.
Yeah, a big run there on the option, a good fake up the middle to draw maybe a few defenders a little bit tighter to the inside, and they busted option on the outside and let Mustard do his thing down the sideline.
The Shamrocks are able to get another one to the end zone. Lakeview's comeback effort probably have to get going immediately. And here's the run to Byerman. Byerman not able to get through, but gets more than half of what he needs. So 2nd and goal now from the 3-4 yard line.
And even if they don't score some points, certainly they'll need to have a good defensive stand here early on.
Five minutes left to go here in this third quarter. Scotus trying to punch in their fourth touchdown of the game. And this goes to Mustard, and he gets into the end zone. Scotus now up 27-9.
Scotus on a nice little play. We've seen it a couple times here today. They run that sweep type of off tackle play to the left side, and Mustard tucking it up and digging in there for 6. You saw a nice job of him just kind of sneaking through the defenders there. They collapsed on him, but able to sneak through and get the touchdown.
So now the Shamrocks try to punch in one more here. Byerman 3 for 3 today on PATs. And that one going to get past the snapper. Byerman just going to be forced to jump on it. And so Scotus unable to get the extra point through, but they are able to get the touchdown and go up by 18 points. So Lakeview down by quite a bit. We'll see what they can get next. I didn't see it.
I promise.
I promise.
I promise to help you find the right vehicle at the right price.
Yo me comprometo.
I promise over 8 acres of the finest cars and trucks in northeast Nebraska.
I promise to help you find a finance option that fits your needs, no matter your credit.
I promise.
I promise. I promise we'll fix your vehicle right the first time.
Hi, I'm John Ernst, and we promise to do what it takes to earn your business every day.
My husband and I farm north of Blair. We know few things are as important to Nebraskans as land. In fact, many of us who work for TransCanada in Nebraska grew up here. Like me, they're passionate about land, water, and wildlife, the very things we work hard to protect. As an environmental specialist, I'm committed to working together to care for the environment. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. After all, Nebraska is our home too.
At Columbus Motor Company, shopping for a new vehicle isn't as complicated during the Jeep Celebration event. At Columbus Motor Company, your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer, it's one low price, plain and simple, always. See them today at 2806 23rd Street or visit them at onelowpricene.com. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
Byerman able to walk off the field there, had a cramp, it looked like.
And so, obviously, that's all Scotus hopes it is after Brandon Wynn already going down tonight. Game partially brought to you by Edgewood Vista of Columbus.
Edgewood Vista, extraordinary care for extraordinary people. Be sure to check them out here in Columbus and their memory care services. Edgewood Vista, proud supporter of area athletics.
And they want to wish all area athletes the best of luck. So Scotus kicking off now to Lakeview. And really since Lakeview went up 6-0, it's nearly been all Scotus as they've outscored the Vikings 27-3 since that first touchdown. We're going to have a flag on the play as well. I believe Scotus left the re-kick for an offsides penalty.
So moving back a little bit and potentially give Lakeview some better field position, but as you kind of talked about, Lakeview down by a couple of scores here. Certainly could use the help of getting on the board here right away. Scotus putting together 2 drives for touchdowns early on. You had the big one on that fake pass and tuck up and run underneath to Byerman, who ran about 48 yards roughly for a touchdown. And then a couple of big plays by Mustard, and eventually he was able to get one in, 2 for a TD on the latest drive.
So the lefty Lobbins knocks it over to around the 15. And this is Thatcher on the run, and pretty solid run. Gets it over to around the 36-yard line. And Lakeview down 3 possessions. They got to score them somehow. They could get 1 field goal and a 2-point conversion, and you can start doing all that math. But really, they just need points.
Yeah, putting together a drive here, and even if it's just a nice long drive, you know, that's the coach's favorite, obviously. Excuse me, sneezed right there. I apologize for that. You put a nice long drive together, take about 5 minutes off the clock, keep the ball in Scotus' hand, but if you can get a touchdown and then get a stop, then you put yourself in good position to be right back in this thing.
So they're going to be scrambling to the right. Throw over and caught. Cage Jansen back in at the quarterback position. That's caught by Cameron Draws.
Nice pitch and catch. Rose just kind of sitting in there in the pocket on that hitch route. He had the 2 receivers there sitting at about 10, 12 yards. A nice little pitch and catch.
So interesting move by Frenzen, going back to a starter in Jansen. After Jaden Johnson played for much of the game thus far. Here's Jansen scrambling to the left. Is able to find Thatcher, but was he hit hard.
A big hit coming on the backside there from the linebacker running downhill. Part of that too, Thatcher caught a little bit off guard. He maybe wasn't prepared for the hit, but knocking him down on the ground.
Those are hits Logan Mueller dreams about right there. Just ideal type of smash mouth football for Scotus as Lakeview faces the 2nd and 9. And here's going to be Jansen scrambling to the right this time and able to find another man. Drost again, and he's going to get past the 30 over to the 25 where he's brought down. That's clearly a weapon Lakeview has that I'm sure they're going to use with around 17 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, we haven't seen Drost be active in this game yet so far, but boy, he's looking good. Getting shifty on the back end of that play to open it up for about an extra 10 yards.
And Drost on the season has 4 catches, now 6, including 1 for a touchdown. And we're going to have another injury on the field, and I actually can't see who exactly is down.
Hopefully they're okay. We'll take a short break and be right back with more football after this.
My husband and I farm north of Blair. We know few things are as important to Nebraskans as land. In fact, many of us who work for TransCanada in Nebraska grew up here. Like me, they're passionate about land, water, and wildlife, the very things we work hard to protect. As an environmental specialist, I'm committed to working together to care for the environment. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. After all, Nebraska is our home too.
Back here live on NCN, 3:38 left to go in the third. Matt Strecker getting helped off the field. He does seem okay after being slow to get up.
Certainly a guy you don't want to see out of the game either if you're Scotus or out for any elongated period of time. Strecker has been just a multi-function guy. He does a lot of blocking, but he's very good at it. He plays kind of that slot back, but also tight end for Shamrocks. Yeah, a linebacker. He's a very strong player for this team.
So here we're going to see Frenzen, who's been quiet of late, not quiet on that play, going for the first down. Into the red zone is a Lakeview, and I believe they're inside the 10.
A big drive here by the Vikings, exactly what they needed. And we talked about it. If they can get down the field, get some points on the board, they're doing it in like under a minute right now, which is very impressive, just over a minute.
Right on the 10, maybe the 10 and a half. As this time it's Thatcher, doesn't go too far. I believe they're on the 10 and a half, so they can technically still get a first down without scoring a touchdown.
Again, if you're talking a little bit of situational ball, they need to get a touchdown here, of course, but and it's going to come to the defense is going to need a big stand. Get a punt and then give your offense a chance to do it one more time, then you're within 1 score.
This is certainly what Lakeview needed, not only a drive downfield, but also a quick drive downfield. The question remains, can they punch it in? Here's Jansen scrambling to the left, now right. And he's going to try to get it over into the end zone. That was Balin who was open, but just wasn't able to find him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he would have had much luck it for the goal, but you know, it's tough because when you're watching it as a spectator, it looks like it's open, but the field closes up so quickly, and it's tough to make that throw on the foot, so he just goes a little bit over top.
That did stop the clock at 2:38. So probably going to see a pass again from Lakeview. And it'll be interesting if they don't get it here, whether they decide to kick it. Jansen going for the toss-up, and it's caught! What a play! Isaac Dryfirst with the touchdown.
Heck of a catch by Dryfirst. High pointing that ball for a touchdown. And boy, receivers looking as good on this drive as they've probably looked all year. They are on point, making plays and making catches.
Lakeview coaches point the 2 fingers in the air. Lakeview trying to get this within 10.
They go for 2 and make it on this drive, and then if they go for 2 on another touchdown, barring they get a stop, they bring the game within 2 points. That makes it a field goal to win.
And they're going to go Thatcher, and he's going to get into the end zone. So 2-point conversion is good. We have a ball game in Columbus. 2:33 left to go in the third quarter. It's Scotus 27, Lakeview 17. More next on NCN.
At Gene Steffi Ford, our goal is to make your purchase a lasting experience. And at Gene Steffi Ford, we do just that. With a great staff, quality Ford products, and competitive pricing, we're sure to find the right vehicle for you. Our sales staff are among Ford's top in customer satisfaction rankings. Come meet our staff, and they'll treat you like family.
Vengan a conocernos.
Y los trataremos como familia.
Serving Columbus and surrounding areas.
Gene Steffi Ford, come and see what makes us different.
Back here live on News Channel Nebraska. Lakeview answers Scotus' touchdown with a quick touchdown themselves. As Grant mentioned, Isaac Dryfirst high pointed the ball in the far corner of the end zone. And it's a ball game here at Lakeview.
That was a heck of a catch. Maybe the best catch we've seen so far today. Seen some great runs and even some great runs after catches, but that was fantastic.
And so we get going again. Palmer going to be on the return for the Shamrocks. And he gets it over about the 28-yard line. I'm sure Coach Linder would be happy with any type of score, but certainly what Scotus could use right now is a nice long drive.
Yeah, if they can take up a decent amount of time in the clock, send this thing into the fourth quarter, and then additionally, if you put some points on the board, cap the drive off with a touchdown, you've really put the pressure on Lakeview. Lakeview in desperate need of a stop here.
Palmer still in there at quarterback for Scotus. Man in motion on the play. It's going to go to Byerman. Byerman uses a spin move and then gets brought down after about a 3-yard gain.
Frenzen initially making contact there out of the linebacker position, and not a bad gain there, 3 yards. Put a couple more of those together, you'll get the first down.
On the Lakeview sideline, Lucas Thatcher getting stretched out. As remember, he had that hammy injury from last week, trying to keep that as loose as possible. Back in the action. It's going to be an option play for Scotus. Palmer keeps it himself. Knocked down around the 45-yard line. Going to set up around a 3rd and 4.
So not a bad carry again if they can put together another solid run play to get a couple. Actually, it'll be about 3rd and 5 even, but there you see some Scotus fans rather here in the booth, and I think that's Trevor Caslon in the front there with the yellow face paint. Going to be big for the basketball team this year for Scotus. Certainly, they've had some great success over the past couple of years.
Yeah, Should be fun to see what Caslin can do in his senior year. Rated in the top 25 in high school recruits in Nebraska. And that one nearly picked off. Jacob Sprunk had his hands on the football, wasn't able to keep it in. Nonetheless, Lakeview forces a 4th down.
If not for the hit by Shanley, that thing is intercepted, I think. But Garrett Shanley coming down and knocking that one loose. And Lakeview got the stop they needed.
A 3 and out for Scotus. Exactly what the doctor ordered for Lakeview, as we see.
Looks like actually the ball was kind of coming out there on the back end, but still a good hit by Shanley. And that's what you kind of have to do if you see that ball coming short. Got to turn into a defensive player.
High kick, doesn't go too far. Bounces at the 42. And we'll head right around the 31. Good news for Scotus. Brandon Hwin coming back into the ball game after injuring, looked to be maybe an ankle injury. He was kind of trying to get loose while Scotus was on offense, and that certainly is a key clog on the defensive line.
Looking like he's maybe still a little stiff, but glad to see that young man back out on the field.
So the Vikings taking over on the 31, down just 10 after scoring a touchdown on their last drive. Can they go 2 for 2? Here's Jansen, makes a move. Still looking to pass, now running before he meets 2 Scotus defenders in Ren Allen and Kyle Kobza.
And we'll see, it looks like they're going to mark the ball back in that spot where it finished off at. I thought maybe they would have put it forward a little bit. Nonetheless, Lakeview ball 2nd down.
2nd about 7. Jansen in shotgun, looks to throw, pump fakes once, then trying to get it over to Drozd. It looked like that ball might have hit the ground. They're going to say catch.
They're going to give it to him. Yeah, they're going to talk about it. They're, I think, conferring to see if there was any way to discount the catch, but they're going to give it to him.
They're going to say 1st down, and going to call that a catch from Drozd.
That's a tough one. That one's hard, it's hard to see right there down. You kind of coming underneath the defender and just kind of sneaks it in, but Drozd making some big catches here. He's almost doubled up his total for the season.
3 catches on the day for the tight end. This one going to go to Thatcher. He's just trying to find any space. Won't find it. Scotus defensive line pounces on the junior.
Again, as we look at Lakeview's potential comeback chances, they need to get a touchdown here and then go for 2 again. That puts you within 2 points. And so then game's winnable by a score if they can stop Scotus one more time.
Back to throw. It's Jansen. Had some time. Now he's got to try to loose the defensive lineman. Throws it up in the air, and it's caught by Balin. Balin makes another spectacular catch as Lakeview now on the 20.
Holy cow. What a snag. You saw Palmer and Balin jumping up for that thing. Balin just using willpower to sneak it into his hands. What a catch. And just kind of a prayer getting chucked up. And then there you see him, boy, coming down with it on the back end.
The 6'2" receiver makes another spectacular grab. That's going to close out the 3rd quarter. One heck of a way to do so. So we head into the 4th. Lakeview down 10, but they're driving. Can they get it within 1 score? We'll see you next on News Channel Nebraska.
It's our privilege to make a healthy difference in Columbus, and it shows in all we do. Columbus Community Hospital is community-owned, which creates a culture built on commitment, compassion, and care. We nurture this strong sense of community in every decision and interaction, helping enhance the lives of patients we're proud to call friends and neighbors. It's no wonder community is our middle name. Learn more about our quality care and career opportunities today.
Quail Run Golf Course has matured into one of the top-ranked public courses in Nebraska since its inception 25 years ago. With its tempting par 5s, deceiving par 3s, and fair but demanding par 4s, players are sure to be challenged. You're invited to come try the practice facilities, join a league, schedule a lesson, or just get out and play. Quail Run Golf Course, Columbus, Nebraska.
Back here live on NCM, that one looks like it was caught by Balin. Unsure on the official call there. I think they're actually going to say incomplete. Game brought to you by Pizza Ranch of Columbus, who wants to wish the best of luck to all area athletes. And they invite all students to join them on Thursday. Show your ID and get the buffet for $8. Second and 10 now for Lakeview after the ball hits the ground.
Lakeview staying alive here. They've done a great job of responding after Scotus kind of punched him in the mouth early in that third quarter with two scores before Lakeview was able to find an answer.
And Lakeview going to call a quick timeout as Coach Frenzen wants to go over the game plan. We'll take a break. 11:56 to go in the game.
Tired of unlimited plans that aren't really unlimited? They're pulling your strings. We say cut those strings and fall into savings at The Arrow. For just $100 a month, get 2 lines with truly unlimited mobile data and more hotspot data. It's better unlimited in every way: price, coverage, and value. Plus, get awesome smartphones like the iPhone 6s or the Galaxy S7 for under $10 a month. Or choose from other great free smartphones. For real savings with no strings, switch to The Arrow today.
Back here live on News Channel Nebraska. Second out of 10 for Lakeview. As they're going to go towards Dryfirst in the end zone, incomplete.
Taking a big shot there on second down. Certainly they're in 4-down territory unless they decide to opt for a field goal. But they've kind of been playing with the mentality that they will potentially go for a touchdown.
So 11:51 to go. It's going to be an interesting call if they can't find any points, whether they go for the long field goal or go for it on 4th. And that's going to be a flag on the play, not what Lakeview needed at this point. So it's going to be a false start on the Vikings. And going to push them back 5 yards over at around the 29.
So that is going to make things real tough. They were doing kind of a rollout pass play there. See if they go back to the air.
They at the very least need to get some yards on this play if they want any chance of a field goal. As Jansen scrambles around, still looking to throw, will fire, and it's caught by Dryfirst, who's been awesome. And I think he got the first down. He did.
Well passed, my word. Jansen is just scrambling, and I don't know, luck is on his side right now because certainly that one pass was kind of who wanted it more. It was up in the air, and Lakeview able to come down with it, but another great pass and catch by Dryfirst.
Lakeview still not quite in there on the 8-yard line. It's going to be Jansen on the keeper. It's going to be close to the end zone, and he got it! Lakeview has this within 4.
Lakeview just puts together an unbelievable drive. What an answer. Scotus puts together 13 points. Now Lakeview's already put 14 up. They're looking to make it 16. They will just go for the PAT. So now they're within 1 score if they make this.
11:23 left to go. Snap is good, and the kick is no good. The kick is no good. So Lakeview will need a touchdown if they want to win this game. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll see what Scotus can do next on NCN.
Nebraska Harvest Store, your Bobcat dealer for sales, service, parts, and rentals. See them today for all your Bobcat needs.
Lakeview fired up right now. After Scotus went on a 27-3 run, Lakeview answers with 13 points of their own. And now they find themselves just down 4. John Kipper, Grant Ott here at Lakeview High School. It's anybody's ball game at this point, Grant.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what this next drive can bring, because potentially could be kind of the drive that solidifies the ball game here. If Scotus is able to put some points on the board, you take a 2-score lead. If Lakeview gets a stop, they set themselves up with a chance to drive and retake the lead.
After the Shamrocks got that first touchdown of the second half, it looked like they might be able to just steamroll through the rest of the game. That has not been the case. It's going to be Palmer on the return, and he's trying to flip the field, and there's going to be a flag on the play as he gets over to the 38.
Coming from the backside, maybe a holding call. I couldn't quite see where it was coming from, so we'll see what the official call is, and there it is, holding against Shamrocks.
And you got to give it to Cage Jansen for Lakeview. Coming in, starting the game. At some point in the game, gets benched. Jaden Johnson, the original starter for 2017, comes in. And at some point, Frenzen switches back to Jansen. And since then, he's been dynamic.
Yeah, he's been doing really well. Johnson drove a couple times downfield himself, but Jansen the hot hand at the moment. Unfortunately, unable to make that PAT, but still trailing 4. If they can drive down the field and put a touchdown on the board, they take a lead by 3. That's barring a stop here.
This is going to be a handoff down the middle for Byerman. Gets a couple before being brought down by the strong Viking D. 2nd down and 8 now for the Shamrocks.
Got to imagine Shamrocks biting at the nail to get out here and move the ball.
Clearly Palmer in no hurry. Still over 10 minutes to go in the game. Here's going to be another handoff down the middle for Byerman. Lakeview having no trouble defending that play.
Defense in the middle has been solid for both squads tonight. You've seen a great performance out of your nose tackles and your traditional nose guards, as well as your linebackers.
So of course, a 3rd and 6 now for Scotus. Lakeview did force Scotus to a 3-and-out last time around. If they can do it again, they will be in excellent position to score another touchdown. Big play upcoming. Going to be the jet sweep from Mustard, trying to get over to the outside. He will, and he'll get the first down.
And more.
And plenty more. Over to the 46 of Scotus and a late flag.
I think it's going to be a late hit there. You can see Drozd, I think, signaling to or hoping to see if he's okay, but you got to imagine with how far that was on the sideline, it's going to be a late hit.
And that would obviously tack on 15 more for the Shamrocks, and that's what it'll be.
So a huge opportunity here for Scotus. You basically get about 25 yards on that play. Or excuse me, about 30, because you had about a 15-yard gain there by Mustard, and then the additional yardage on the back end.
A huge chunk. Was the 3rd of the field. So now Scotus in excellent position, and if you're Lakeview, you can even give up a field goal here. That wouldn't be the end of the world, as they could still obviously tie it with a touchdown. and they need to score a touchdown anyway, but if Scotus is able to get in the end zone, that's going to be tough for Lakeview.
Certainly so.
It's going to be a draw yet again. That worked really well last time. Byerman still able to get about an 8-yard gain, but Lakeview was able to trip him up before he got the first down.
Just that little play as Palmer kind of comes around the outside with his left hand, pokes that thing in there, and Byerman does a good job of running upfield. Looks like Mustard maybe tying his shoe quick, or excuse me, Byerman.
2nd and 6 now for Scotus. Here's going to be the jet sweep for Lobbins. And he makes a man miss, gets it over to the 21-yard line. That's going to be 1st and 10 for Scotus. And bank with a locally owned bank. When you bank with Great Plains State Bank in Columbus, O'Neill, and Petersburg.
Huge block on that right side, opening that thing up for Lobbins. Boy, that was a great hit. And they find themselves in the red zone.
And about 9 minutes left to go. This is going to be a similar play to the other side for Mustard. Mustard finding a little bit of space, gets around 4 yards before being tackled. I believe he was actually tackled in bounds.
Yeah, not a bad play, and the clock going to continue to run, so at this point you kind of want it to. If you're Scotus, you have the lead, you're threatening to score, you'd rather have the time start to run out. It's probably your best friend at this point. Now, if Scotus is able to score here, which looks like they have a good opportunity to, then Lakeview will need to put a touchdown back on themselves, and then you're going to see, I think, an onside kick situation.
Lobbins not able to get too much, going to set up a big 3rd down. And Scotus, I mean, you got to imagine they'll try for the field goal if they don't get this. And at least force an overtime if Lakeview is able to get it in for 6. And Lakeview not able to make all their extra points, so they might even have hopes of Lakeview missing the PAT. Right now, all that matters is this 3rd down. And it's going to be off. And that's going to go for a 1st down. And more over to the 1-yard line is Logan Mueller.
Mueller running extremely hard. What an effort by him. Holy cow, I can't believe he stayed on his feet as long as he did, just running through a lot of traffic and getting all the way down to about the 6-yard line.
Yeah, I originally said the 1. It looks to be around the 3 or 4. Byerman, the lone man in the backfield. Mustard and Lobbins on the outside. It goes to Byerman, not quite able to get in, but gets closer over to around the 1.
Sitting about right on that, 1-yard line there. A good, tough run.
Mueller coming back into the game.
Now, if you get a goal line stand here, if you're Lakeview, and maybe sit it back at a 3-point field goal, then you're only down by a touchdown, and you can tie things up. If you're Scotus, you'd want to just kind of give yourselves that 2-touchdown lead. And there it is.
And they extend their lead to 33 to 23. Byerman able to get in there for another score. So Lakeview has their hands full with 6:44 left to go.
They are going to have a good drive here offensively this next time out, and they've had 2 touchdown drives in a row here on offense, so they'll be sitting in good position. But with 6:44 left, if they score, you're going to see that onside kick unit coming out.
PAT will be good. So Scotus able to eat up a lot of clock, eventually putting one through the end zone. It's 34-23. We'll see what Lakeview can put up next on NTN.
So we asked, which is faster, your cell phone or the phone book?
My cell phone.
I think cell phone. I would say that my phone is faster. Oh, got it. Loading.
Okay, I got it. My phone is not working, of course. Got it. Phone book is faster, definitely. I think I might get a phone book.
I would definitely try the phone book first.
Let your fingers do the walking through your local independent Yellow Pages.
Back on this Lakeview High School, 34-23, Scotus on top. After engineering one heck of a drive down the field, now just 6:44 for Lakeview to make up that 11-point deficit.
Certainly a tough one. They're going to have to get downfield and put some points on the board in a decently timely manner. Take out a decent amount of clock. If you time it right, you take maybe about 4 minutes on the drive, give yourself a little over 2 minutes if you can get an onside kick to score another one.
Excellent kick from Byerman, going to force Lakeview into a touchback. And as a reminder, we have more high school football tomorrow night as we head to Osceola for some 8-man D2 action as we continue rivalry week as Fullerton takes on Osceola.
Very excited to see how that one goes. Similar kind of a matchup going into the game with those two teams as we're seeing with these two squads tonight.
Two likely playoff teams out in D2. These two squads trying to get in the C1 playoffs. Right now, that's Jansen finding a man out of bounds. Good hit there by Scotus, but Lakeview's Droz able to hold it in and gets awfully close to a first down. Going to be about a 2nd and 5, as it wasn't as close as I thought.
Yeah, maybe even 2nd and 4. Give you a little more credit there. Good little pitch catch. Yeah, nice quick out route. Getting Droz out there in some one-on-one matchups.
And now, heading to the right is Jansen and trying to find a man. He does. Dreyfus, who's been awesome in the second half, gets it over to the 45.
And we'll get a signal here, and they're actually going to say incomplete. They'll say he bobbled it going to the ground. As we get a...
Well, I think refs are still trying to make up their mind.
I thought one ref was signaling.
One ref definitely signaled.
Incomplete.
But I think other refs are disagreeing.
This one underneath here, you can see the catch there. Kind of on the hip. They're looking like I think he did have quote-unquote control going down to the ground. They did pop it out at the end. There you see another look at this thing. It's tough to see from that angle.
I do believe that's the right call.
I believe that's the right call, yeah, and you saw the ball didn't pop out until they had been down on the ground for about 2 seconds.
Ball officially on the 44 for Lakeview. Still over 6 minutes to go. Jansen back to pass, drop back. Gets it over to Balin for the completion as the wide receivers have been fantastic for the Vikings in the second half.
And they are moving extremely quickly down the field right now, the passing attack for Lakeview. We've seen a little bit of this year, but certainly I don't think to this extent. We've seen glimpses of it, but they have been just lighting it up through the air here.
And likely going to be another throw this time on the left side as Jansen has to avoid the rush. Does. Tries to get it over to Dreyfus and tipped around. Could have been caught by several players.
A pretty good look, actually. It's a tough throw to make. That's a lot of field to make up when you're passing that. It really comes out to about a 40-yard throw by the time you're actually making that and shooting it all the way across the field like that. So ideally, that's not a bad pass. He's pretty wide open, but that's a tough one to kind of time in there. It's a lot of field to cover.
Jansen kind of has a schoolyard approach to the quarterback position. Likes to throw on the run. This time will be a drop back. Now scrambles out of the pocket. Looking for Dreyfus yet again, but that's knocked away by the Scotus D.
Tough, tight pass in there. Very well guarded there by the defense.
Look to be Borchers in there with the breakup, and a game brought to you by Didier's Grocery, located at 340 D Street in David City and 122 West 16th Street in Schuyler. They're your local community connection for high-quality food, friendly service, and great prices. Shop with us, shop local. 3rd and 10 for the Vikings as Jansen scrambling to the left now, being chased by Hwin. Now able to step forward, and he's got a man! To the 10-5, touchdown Lakeview as Jaden Johnson gets into the end zone.
The guy who was playing quarterback earlier in the game comes in as the receiver in a slot, and he scores the touchdown on the receiving end.
What a game we have here.
Holy cow, what a cut on the back end too. Great vision by Johnson, and they score in a minute.
I believe almost exactly a minute.
Yeah, I think that actually comes down to about 61 seconds is what that touchdown came in. Holy cow.
Exactly what the doctor ordered for Coach Frenzen and company. Not only get into the end zone, but do it quickly. And there's no reason, in my opinion, they need to onside it now.
Boy, if your defense can get a good effort in here to the pin too, let's see what we get here on the 2-point conversion if they can get themselves in a good position. Frenzen not happy with that one. If they score the 2-point conversion here, they're back within a field goal range.
Yeah, Frenzen forced to call a timeout in a game like this. You don't like to waste those. We'll take a 30-second break ourselves as both teams talk it over. We'll see what they can do in the 2-pointer next on NCN.
I promise.
I promise.
I promise to help you find the right vehicle at the right price.
Yo me comprometo.
I promise over 8 acres of the finest cars and trucks in Northeast Nebraska.
I promise to help you find a finance option that fits your needs, no matter your credit.
I promise.
I promise. I promise we'll fix your vehicle right the first time.
Hi, I'm John Ernst, and we promise to do what it takes to earn your business every day.
Well, it is an enjoyable one out here in Columbus. Rivalry matchup between both inner city schools. Right now, 2-point conversion for the Vikings. Give it down the middle to Frenzen. Going to be close, and the Lions going to push them through.
Frenzen is in for 2, and Scotus was within 3. What a potential comeback here. Looks like we got another cramp on the field.
And now's a good time to go to break as Scotus will get the ball back. We'll see if they can drive, and theoretically the Shamrocks could hold on to the ball the rest of the game. A lot of unknowns out here in Columbus Lakeview. We'll find out more in just a bit next on News Channel Nebraska.
My husband and I farm north of Blair. We know few things are as important to Nebraskans as land. In fact, many of us who work for TransCanada in Nebraska grew up here. Like me, they're passionate about land, water, and wildlife, the very things we work hard to protect. As an environmental specialist, I'm committed to working together to care for the environment. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. After all, Nebraska is our home too.
Back here live on News Channel Nebraska. We broadcasted Scotus 2 weeks ago, and they gave Aquinas one heck of a game. Now Lakeview giving the Shamrocks one heck of a game themselves after continuously coming back from 2 possessions. Still the Shamrocks with that 3-point lead, and they will be getting the ball back. Outside chance of an onside kick here for Lakeview. Both sides set up like Lakeview will just kick it away. And that's what they'll do. Mustard on the return. Past the 20 and runs into his own guy. The ball's on the field. I think Lakeview got it back, and they do. Wow.
Oh, my word. You cannot draw it up any more movie-like than that. Lakeview knocking one loose on the return.
Scotus might have ran into their own guy. We'll have to check the replay here as Mustard.
I think you're right. Yeah, Mustard contacting his own man, and that is what popped it loose. An unlucky break there for Scotus. And Lakeview's in scoring position. You're right, John. Hitting contact with his own guy.
Now can the Vikings take advantage? A touchdown would give Lakeview a lead. They can also tie it with a field goal. Here's the jet sweep. Thatcher not getting too far.
Wrapped up there by Thatcher. And now you almost want to take some time off the clock if you're Lakeview. Of course, you just need to get in the end zone, but certainly if you can shed some time while you're doing it, then you maybe eliminate Scotus' chances to come back. But it's tough to take off 5 minutes clock when you're that close down the field and still score.
Second and 9. Lakeview on the 19. Jansen makes a move, going to carry it himself, and gets close to the first down. Going to be stopped short. Set up a 3rd and 2, and boy, is this a big down upcoming.
Definitely 2-down territory here. You got to think, well, I guess you're down by 3. You could kick the long field goal. That's all they need to tie it up.
It could be decision time for Coach Friends, and obviously he's hoping he doesn't have a decision to make.
Yeah, boy, that is a tough one. Not terribly long to kick it from. It's reasonable range.
It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Jansen breaks a tackle. Will not get the first down.
Boy, 4th and inches, I think.
4:15 left to go. Lakeview would likely still have a chance to get the ball back if they don't get any points. They will try to kick it. So it's going to be up to Cage Jansen to tie it. He has made some dynamic plays from the quarterback position in the second half. Now it's going to be up to that right foot of his. Snap is good. Kick is up. And he knocks it in. It's a tie game.
Lost for words, John. What a turnaround. This has been an unbelievable matchup. We could not have asked for anything better.
Lakeview was down 18 points in the third quarter. They were down 11 points with 6:44 left to go. They have now tied it. Scotus last did not have the lead when it was 9-6. 9-7, excuse me. 9-7 after Jansen hit his first field goal in of the day. Was able to knock in that one with a heck of a lot more pressure. But 3:45 still left to go. Obviously still plenty of time for Scotus. And Byerman, we've seen, does have a leg, so they don't necessarily have to get it in the end zone for Scotus to put points on the board. Both teams still have a shot at making the playoffs. Scotus with definitely still a shot at winning the district with a Boone Central game ahead of them.
Makes it much more complicated for them if they can't win this game. That one sneaks by, is going to make it tough.
So Mustard going to be forced to return this from the 2. Able to break some tackles. A pretty respectable return considering the circumstances.
Yeah, gets it all the way back to the 14-yard line. Just behind the 15. And if you look at this, Lakeview falling to Boone Central last week. If Lakeview's able to beat Scotus this week and Scotus defeats Boone Central in the coming weeks, then you're really looking at an interesting scenario. And at that point, it might be Boone Central because they got some more points on the board.
And it's also considering you got to beat Ord and Adams Central.
Yeah. So, who knows where those two matches are going to fall out too. This has been a heck of a game, and boy, I'm certainly glad to be here watching this one. This is a lot of fun. Again, we're tweeting updates, and you can tweet at us as well at NCN Sports on Twitter.
And also, we're going to have a player at the game at the end, and there is a long list of candidates right now.
Yeah, I'm not even quite sure where we are going to start with that one. Holy cow.
Do you have an idea?
I got an idea. I got a few ideas. But, oh boy.
Here's Mustard on a strong carry. That's going to get the first down, but they're going to say a fumble. Wow, it's Lakeview football, everybody.
Holy cow! Back-to-back fumbles in Lakeview. You could not have timed those any better. They're back in the red zone again.
And all they need is a field goal.
And that one popping out on the back end there. And Jacob Sprunk knocking that thing loose. There you see it from the backside. He rips in a textbook play on the back end. If you're trying to knock a fumble loose, gets the punch right in there.
And Lakeview going to go down the middle. There's Frenzen. Not going too far. I would not say Lakeview's in field goal range yet. I would think they would want to get the first down before they consider that.
Yeah, I think certainly they would not hesitate to try one, I don't think, at this point. But you are looking at a pretty lengthy field goal. But I think he's got the leg. But, boy, now Scotus has had Lakeview's number for the past couple of years, certainly the last 3 years. They've had some strong wins. Yeah, so Lakeview's been just itching to try and get a win here, and they've got an opportunity, 2 minutes left.
Scrambling to the left is Jansen. He's been good on the move in this one. He's going to air it out to the end zone. It's intercepted. Scotus picks it off.
And they are going to be on the 20-yard line. Looks like it's going to be a touchback, I think.
Colson Cush catches the ball and a break with that touchback call.
A huge swing and some momentum there. So now Scotus has the opportunity to drive down here with 2 minutes left. And what a jump and catch there in the backfield. A heck of a play. Yeah, Cush just looking very athletic on that one.
Jansen was playing with fire all night long, throwing on the move so much. Eventually, Scotus got him. But can the Shamrocks drive down the field? They've done this play plenty. Mustard, lots of space. Goes for the first down there. Going to stop the clock as Scotus gets on the 33-yard line.
My word, and outside of the fumbles and the turnovers, they've looked really good offensively. They just limited their chances on the last couple of drives by having the ball pop loose.
Still running their game. Another reverse play. Ball's on the ground again. Lakeview thinks they have it.
My word. My word!
It is Lakeview football. 3 fumbles in possessions for the Shamrocks.
John, I can't believe it. Holy cow.
It's almost like Scotus is trying to gift them this game at this point.
I'm glad I'm not a fan sitting on either side here, because this is an emotional roller coaster to be on for either team in this fourth quarter. A tough, hard play up the middle. You saw him run kind of that reverse play, but just a beautiful job getting in there by Frenzen. He gets enough of a hand on it to strip it.
Still work to do for Lakeview on the 33. And one-man miss, two-man miss. Nice run. That's Jaden Johnson.
Johnson looking
score a touchdown.
Really good on that play.
That clock definitely now a factor.
Yeah, that is a huge factor, and it's a long field goal to make. If you shoot it from this point, you want to get much closer if you can, but it's worth trying here at this range.
Lakeview still trying to get a little bit closer. Both sides have 2 timeouts left.
Currently looking at about a 45-yarder.
Jansen airing it out, and it's intercepted! 3 turnovers back to back to back. 4 turnovers, excuse me, in a row.
Actually, 5. 3 fumbles and 2 picks.
Well, without points.
Without points, yeah.
3 in a row.
But boy, holy cow, we got a minute left. At this point, I'd be surprised if we're not going to overtime. These two teams look like they just are begging to play each other in overtime. Scotus now has a minute to get downfield.
5 fourth-quarter turnovers for both sides. All coming in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Holy cow. This has been a heck of a game here in the fourth quarter.
Well, Scotus trying to do some work. Palmer breaking free. And he had Lobbins open, just wasn't able to find him as 61 seconds left on the clock.
Tough play, and Lobbins very much open, but when you're trying to throw across the body there, that's a tough pass to make. So comes in a little bit low. Now just, as you can see, 1:01 to play. And a lot of field to cover. I'd be surprised at this point now. It's going to take a big play for them to get in the end zone, but it seems like it's going to overtime. Who knows what will happen, though?
I'm done predicting.
Yes. Yeah, there is no time for predictions in this one.
And not going too far. And in fact, they're going to get pushed back. Got to be careful if you're Scotus right now. You don't want to get a safety.
Yeah, and they'll even look, I think, probably put him at about the 3 or 4 yard line. We'll see I think they'll give him some forward momentum. And they'll even have him at the 5.
And timeout on the field. We're going to take a break ourselves to catch our breath. 49.5 seconds to go. 3rd and 12 for Scotus. More next on NCN.
My husband and I farm north of Blair. We know few things are as important to Nebraskans as land. In fact, many of us who work for TransCanada in Nebraska grew up here. Like me, they're passionate about land, water, and wildlife, the very things we work hard to protect. As an environmental specialist, I'm committed to working together to care for the environment. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. After all, Nebraska is our home too.
Third down and 12 for the Shamrocks. All tied up at 34 apiece. John Kipper Grant on News Channel Nebraska. And just a reminder, this game's going to be replayed at ncnsportsnow.com. I might recommend that as this is
yes, certainly. Go back and watch this one.
So Scotus elects to run the ball on 3rd down. Not going to get very far. Looks like Frenzen going to call another timeout. And 42 seconds or so for Lakeview. We'll just stay here as the Vikings going to talk it over, as will the Shamrocks. One more timeout left to go for Lakeview, so they can still use that on their final drive. Grant, Jansen's been really good throwing the ball around. You got to imagine they're going to keep airing it out.
Yeah, they've had the 2 interceptions of recent, but for the most part, the percentage has been really good at leading up to those 2 interceptions. And then Scotus, not a team that fumbles very much, has had 3 fumbles. So these 5 turnovers are kind of a rarity, but certainly have made for an interesting matchup. Now Scotus going to have to punt away. Be curious to see how far they can punt. If they can't change field position here, it's going to be tough. Then Lakeview has a very viable opportunity to get themselves in scoring position.
So 4th and 12. Scotus way back, so they got to be careful certainly on this punt just to make sure they get it off.
You also, if you're Lakeview, you got to be careful. You don't want to run into the punter and give Scotus a fresh set of downs.
Snap is good, and they do get the kick off. Good punt. Right around midfield, right at the 50, is where Lakeview will take over. 33.2 seconds is what they'll have.
But the offense they put on the field in the 4th quarter, that's plenty of time for them to get downfield, but they just need to get in field goal position, so we'll see if they can do it. The last 2 drives have ended in interceptions.
As we mentioned, Lakeview is currently on a drought when they're facing the Shamrocks. The past few years have been excellent Scotus teams. The Vikings trying to get them in 2017. Jansen works the play action. Nearly throws a pick, eventually hits the ground.
Quick ball in there, and not much time goes off the clock, about 4 seconds. Had the fake reverse before the rollout to the right. We've seen him a lot of times, too, run kind of a quick vert on the outside, send 3 or 4 guys downfield just real quick, and then just chuck it at 15 yards.
So 2nd and 10 now. Jansen looking for a screen pass, is able to find Dreyfus, and it's nearly intercepted as the ball was tipped up in the air. I believe they're just going to call that incomplete.
And they were going for a hook and ladder, it looked like, to Johnson underneath.
Certainly a risky play. So they're going to say incomplete, 3rd down. So 3rd down and 10, right at midfield. Lakeview probably in their last chance to win this in regulation. They air it out deep. It's nearly picked off. It does go out of bounds. Good coverage out there by Cush.
So maybe a tough decision. I don't know. You're at midfield. You got 16 seconds left.
They're just going to punt.
Yeah, they'll sit back to punt, send this one to overtime. So you have the option maybe to try and chuck one downfield and get a first and then keep it alive for a long field goal, but 50 yards to go, it's going to be tough to get yourself into field goal position. The Scotus defense has done a really good job of responding. The defensive backfield has looked great.
And seemingly throwing up in the air, Scotus almost has as much of a shot to catch it than Lakeview does.
Yeah, very much. A lot of good athletes on both sides going in for those balls.
Punt nearly blocked, does get it away. And exactly what you want, just kick it out of bounds. Goes over to the 19-yard line, 9.4 seconds to go. With Scotus' running-based offense, got to imagine it's just going to go to OT.
Yeah, you think maybe take a shot down the field, but if you're confident in your team, too, that you can win this thing in overtime, certainly no issue with trying to beat it in there and just try to bust a long run play maybe. That would be a heck of a way to end, too, if they did took this one 82 yards for a touchdown. It looks like they're going to kneel. So we are heading to overtime, John.
First time in 2017, News Channel Nebraska Columbus will be in overtime. No better game to do it than Scotus Lakeview as well. So we'll take another break. When we come back, it's going to be overtime action on News Channel Nebraska.
At Bank of the Valley, our commitment has always been to our customers and the communities we serve. Bank of the Valley is supporting our area schools by introducing the first School Pride Cards, a Visa check card with your choice of custom design for your local school. New and current customers can earn cash for the school of their choice by choosing one of 16 School Pride Card designs. The Bank of the Valley School Pride Card can be used anytime, anywhere. Show your school pride this year and sign up today by visiting any one of the 5 Bank of the Valley locations.
At Gene Steffi Ford, our goal is to make your purchase a lasting experience. And at Gene Steffi Ford, we do just that. With a great staff, quality Ford products, and competitive pricing, we're sure to find the right vehicle for you. Our sales staff are among Ford's top in customer satisfaction rankings. Come meet our staff, and they'll treat you like family.
Vengan a conocernos.
Y los trataremos como familia.
Serving Columbus and surrounding areas.
Gene Steffi Ford, come and see what makes us different.
Back here live on News Channel Nebraska as both teams meeting at midfield. You're used to college overtime. That's pretty much what high school overtime is, except instead of the 25-yard line, teams start on the 10th.
So we'll see. They'll flip to see who's on defense first. If you're, I mean, I guess you're flipping to see who's on offense first too. But you're ideally going to choose defense when you start out. Your defense can get a stop, or what the other team does. That's kind of your judge for potentially being able to win it. If they get a field goal, you got to get a touchdown to win. If they don't score at all, you could just get yourself set up in field goal position and kick it away on 3rd or 4th down.
And
So it looks like the teams have picked sides. So we'll have to wait to see exactly
So
what...
Scotus will be on offense first.
Gotcha, okay. So Lakeview won the toss and elected to defer. So as Grant mentioned, you want to play defense first if you can.
So we are going to head down to the 10-yard line on the far west side of the field. And boy, I'm thank you for whoever's tuning in tonight. We're glad you're hanging out with us. We are certainly glad to be watching this one. Watch any of our broadcasts at ncnsportsnow.com. You can watch the replays as well. You can find this one on there. Give it 24 hours after the game, and it'll be up and ready to watch. We'll post those on our Facebook page, Columbus News Team on Facebook as well. Linder conferring with the coach here. We'll see what. He's not happy about something there.
I don't know what. He is very upset. He walks away shaking his head angry. I don't know what he would be mad about in the coin toss.
I'm not sure, not liking maybe what side of the field they chose to go on there. They'll both go in the same direction here. Refs conferring here as well.
So I think both times getting everything set straight. Lakeview has their final words with the offensive coordinator and other coaches.
Certainly, I mean, I really do enjoy this style of overtime. I know some people may like the pro version to the basically you don't got the golden score that much, but you do have the score first, kind of put the thing away, but it does make it very fun and a lot of fanfare when you have this type of OT.
Theoretically, this game could go, 15 overtimes. That's how these are set up.
Yeah.
Obviously, that doesn't happen very often.
And it makes it a lot different when you're going here from the 10, certainly, than when you're looking at college sitting back there with 25 yards to go.
Very different dynamic. So here we go, Scotus. First down and goal from the 10. First period of regulation and overtime. It's going to be Palmer trying to go deep, nearly picked off. Good defense there from Lakeview. That was Jaden Johnson, who has made several plays in this one.
Now, if there is a turnover, that just eliminates the drive for the offensive team, and then the other team will go in and do their offensive turn. So you really want to avoid a turnover.
Now, Grant, we haven't had it in high school yet, but this is the second time in a week span that we've had an overtime broadcast, as Wayne State fell in overtime last week.
Yeah, that was a heck of a game against Duluth, double overtime. 2 interceptions and a blocked kick.
Yeah, that was
you can't
wild.
ask for a more intense ending than that.
We'll see what musters up on this one, as Scotus is going to score. Byerman into the end zone. Shamrock strike first.
Right up the gut. Just tucks it up and buries it in for a touchdown. A big, big score there for Scotus on the second play.
Extra points mean a lot, though, certainly in overtime.
We've had 2 missed today. 1 blocked, 1 wide right. Actually, 3 missed field goals, rather. Or not missed field goals, but we had 3 field goals, no good. That one good.
So Byerman scores a touchdown, also knocks in the extra point. All the pressure now on Lakeview.
We had so kind of talking circles here for a second. We had Lakeview missed a field goal and got blocked and then landed off the front. Scotus missing a field goal, a PAT, and then Lakeview oversnapping that one. They had scored the 2-point conversion on the one prior, so it kind of eliminated itself, but yeah, certainly not a gimme at this point. But Lakeview, 41-34, have been heavy with the pass in the fourth quarter. Probably biggest passing game of the year. I'll be interested to see how the stats lay out, but I can't imagine one of the other games this year would have eclipsed what they've done in the air today.
So now it's going to be up to the Lakeview offense. And if you watch that second half, you got to be confident that Lakeview can find the end zone. As they were making plays left and right because they had to make them left and right, mounting a comeback.
Oh, man, what the heck. I mean, we talked about it, too, and Lakeview did exactly what we were talking about they needed to do to get back in this game. Not often it breaks down like that.
No. So Lakeview needs at least 7 points. Jansen going to throw it over to Frenzen to start off their drive. Strong run there by the junior over to about the 6.
Yeah, not bad push at all there up the middle.
And this is the time of the game where all that conditioning work in the summer and in fall camp pays off.
Rivalry week overtime on the 6-yard line.
2nd and goal. They are going to get close but not make it. Down at the 1. That was Johnson on the carry.
Tough run there by Johnson. Scotus defense really packing in there. They're doing a good job, but Johnson lowering the shoulder pads and doing a good job of driving. It's 2-down territory. They have to score.
So 2 downs to get 1 yard for the Vikings. They send the man in motion. Handoff to Frenzen. Touchdown.
We are going to double OT.
Well,
if they can get the PAT. Jumping ahead of myself a little bit, getting excited. Frenzen doing a good job of running up the gut, but yeah. Boy, that would be a heck of a way to finish, too, if Scotus can block or if this misses. You certainly don't want to see it on a miss. You hate to see that, but if Scotus could get a block, that would be a energizing way to finish. But they're going for 2. They're going to win.
I was thinking they might try this.
Holy cow.
Well, Frenzen now going to call a timeout on the sideline. I think he wants to talk it over.
I think maybe looking to see what the potential lineup was going to be. He wanted to see what kind of defense they came out, and if they came in the right set, then he was probably going to go for it now.
We can stay right here, Grant.
Yeah,
I think this is the point of the game where we can do that.
Holy cow! This is something else.
If you're Frenzen, do you try to use that momentum? You have the home crowd. Play to beat your rival.
Isn't that the $1 million question?
You'd be getting the big bucks if you knew that.
Holy cow! Many coaches have spent some nights wide awake after failed attempts of doing so, and have had a great night's sleeps after being successful at it. So it'll be interesting to see what they come out with. They didn't look like they changed much lineup going into that huddle there, but you got Jansen on as your kicker. He's your quarterback, so if you got the right setup in there and then someone like Johnson, your receiver or quarterback holding, then you could just set up in your field goal position.
And the 2 points more interesting in high school because extra points are more likely to miss than in college or pro. And Grant, I think they're going. So here we go. Here's the ball game right now. 41-40. Lakeview going for the win right now. Play action pass going to the end zone. It's caught! Lakeview takes down Scotus.
Holy cow! A barn burner of a finish.
Oh my goodness. Coach Linder throws his headset down, furious on the sideline. He doesn't think they got in. The refs say otherwise.
My word, and just a photo finish there. Lakeview, for the first time since 2013, coming away with a victory here at home against rival Scotus. And You can't draw it up much better than that. That was a photo finish for the Vikings. We are going to wrangle up our player of the game here shortly. Please stay tuned, and we will be right back in just a second with John Kipper, Coach Kurt Frenzen, and our POG. Stay tuned on News Channel Nebraska.
It's our privilege to make a healthy difference in Columbus, and it shows in all we do. Columbus Community Hospital is community-owned, which creates a culture built on commitment, compassion, and care. We nurture this strong sense of community in every decision and interaction, helping enhance the lives of patients we're proud to call friends and neighbors. It's no wonder community is our middle name. Learn more about our quality care and career opportunities today.
Quail Run Golf Course has matured into one of the top-ranked public courses in Nebraska since its inception 25 years ago. With its tempting par 5s, deceiving par 3s, and fair but demanding par 4s, players are sure to be challenged. You're invited to come try the practice facilities, join a league, schedule a lesson, or just get out and play. Quail Run Golf Course, Columbus, Nebraska.
Tired of unlimited plans that aren't really unlimited? They're pulling your strings. We say cut those strings and fall into savings at the Arrow. For just $100 a month, get 2 lines with truly unlimited mobile data and more hotspot data. It's better unlimited in every way: price, coverage, and value. Plus, get awesome smartphones like the iPhone 6s or the Galaxy S7 for under $10 a month, or choose from other great free smartphones. For real savings with no strings, switch to Viero today.
Nebraska Harvest Store, your Bobcat dealer for sales, service, parts, and rentals. See them today for all your Bobcat needs.
So we asked, which is faster, your cell phone or the phone book?
My cell phone.
I think cell phone. I would say that my phone is faster. Oh, got it. Loading.
Okay, I got it. My phone is not working, of course. Got it. Phone book is faster, definitely. I think I might get a phone book.
I would definitely try the phone book first.
Let your fingers do the walking through your local independent Yellow Pages.
It was do or die. Lakeview throws a diving catch in double overtime as they go for 2 to get the win, 42-41. We were not disappointed with today's matchup. There you can see the Vikings gathering in the center of the field, very ecstatic after the big victory. The players probably going to hang out for a little bit. I can't imagine they aren't too hasty to get off the field after that one. A heck of a second week of districts for them. They respond back from a loss to Boone Central. A tough one, but we got Coach Kurt Frenzen down on the field. We'll get his thoughts with John Kipper right now.
Down here with the winning head coach, Coach Frenzen. Obviously a very emotional victory. Lots of happy faces down the sideline. Let's go to that 2-point conversion. Late, obviously, in overtime. You have that decision, extra point or 2-pointer. Why'd you decide to go for it?
We're gassed. We didn't have anything left, and we had to go for it. I felt if we knew another overtime, well, as tough as our kids are, they had a little more depth. So I was a little bit concerned. I thought we had to go for it now. It was our best chance. Our kids wanted to go for it. I wanted to go for it, and ended up coming out on top.
You were down 18 in the third quarter. You were down 11 points with 6:44 left. What kept you guys in it?
It just toughness, mental toughness. We talk about it all the time, and how many kids showed it out here tonight. It was amazing. I'll tell you what, our quarterback came back and just had ice in his veins, had a couple throws I know he'd like to have back, and then he throws that big 2-point conversion for the win. And then our other quarterback who played bunch tonight gets the catch. I mean, that's what high school football is all about. I gotta love every one of them out there. They just did a great job tonight.
Win like this, what does it mean for the rest of your season?
It means a great deal. It means that we can overcome a lot because we did tonight. I tell you what, with the effort and attitude these guys bring each and every day, the sky's the limit. We just got to keep our heads down, keep working as hard as we can.
Coach, that's all I had for you. Congrats on the win.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm going to go try to find the player of the game. Back to you, Grant.
Thank you, John. Kurt Frenzen, very, I think, exhausted after the emotional game that they had. Just, I think, probably as tired as those players were as you're watching that game kind of come down. We were at a loss for words, but also couldn't stop talking about what was going on because it was just an unbelievable finish. You had 5 turnovers there, 3 fumbles, 2 interceptions in the last 5 minutes of play. They all came in about 4-minute span, and it was just an unbelievable way to get going there. Lakeview tries to drive, Scotus comes back, and then they end up sending it to overtime. And our player of the game, I think, very deserving of that honor here tonight. So we will see as he is tracking him down. He's somewhere in the big mosh pit. John going to have to get a little bit of a workout as he tries to get in there and spot him down. As he finds and kind of searches through the crowd for him. We'll be back shortly after this with our final interview. We'll wrap it up here at Lakeview Field.
So we asked, which is faster, your cell phone or the phone book?
My cell phone.
Cell phone. I would say that my phone is faster. Oh, got it. Loading.
Okay, I got it. My phone is not working, of course. Got it. Phone book is faster, definitely. I think I might get a phone book.
I would definitely try the phone book first.
Let your fingers do the walking through your local independent Yellow Pages.
I promise.
I promise.
I promise to help you find the right vehicle at the right price.
Yo me comprometo. I promise over 8 acres of the finest cars and trucks in Northeast Nebraska.
I promise to help you find a finance option that fits your needs, no matter your credit.
I promise.
I promise. I promise we'll fix your vehicle right the first time.
Hi, I'm John Ernst, and we promise to do what it takes to earn your business every day.
Player of the game, Cage Jansen, leading this team back from 18. We'll start with the comeback before we get to the 2-point conversion. Cage, you were down quite a bit in the third quarter, 3 possessions. What kept you guys coming back? How were you able just to keep in the game and eventually come back?
I think our will to win. We had great will to win. We had a great week of practice preparing for them, and when we got down, we had our hearts right, and we just destroyed them at the end.
Coach Frenzen said you guys wanted to go for that 2-point conversion. Was there any question in your mind that you were going to go for it or not?
Oh, I knew we were going to go for it. Just to win this game versus Scotus, town rival, haven't beat them since 2013. It just feels really great to beat them.
And that was my next question. This is a team that's had your guys' number over the past few years. What does this win mean specifically?
It feels really great because we struggled with them past years because they've been really good. They're seniors last year, they're great. They graduated this year, and this year we came on top and just got it done.
Cage, that's all I had for you. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
That's Cage Jansen, the player of the game. Back over to you, Grant.
Thank you, John, and thank you guys for tuning in. A heck of a finish, 42-41. Lakeview comes on top over in-town rival Scotus. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be live again tomorrow. Osceola taking on Fullerton in what we hope is just as tight of a rivalry matchup with those 2 squads in 8-man football. We will see you guys tomorrow on News Channel Nebraska. This has been NCN Sports.